There we go.
Yeah.
The trans
What the fuck? This place...
trail goes away after
This is
on its
thank
own
you.
after a while.
Yeah.
It's still fucking
what the
annoying.
fuck?
Kind of funny, not gonna lie.
Wait, were you TPing
Brand's
too?
right,
the
so let's fucking
fuck?
go. But like,
Yeah, Frigid is awesome.
there's so many of them.
Don't touch the power lines, by the way.
Yeah.
They'll kill you.
Yeah.
These?
So where is it? Hang on, are we meeting somewhere besides the main UN building?
Yeah, we're
Just out
going
of
on the
curiosity.
train for today.
Yeah, we're
Where is
meeting
this
at,
train?
Alright.
at the train
I don't
station.
know where that
I will-
is. I need to get on the server real quick, and then I might need TP. If that's
My
possible.
ability
Are we
actually
gonna-
like.
Are we gonna
work
say
on
that it's
TP.
okay for people to get TP to the trains?
Yeah,
I can TP.
I
at
vote
least
yeah
for
for
today.
that.
My ability to actually
I figure.
work on shit is somewhat limited, so like I'm gonna be
Food.
using this time to do things, but
Can you give me some food?
Yeah, because the
I
last
support
meeting I
this
tried.
idea even if I won't be there myself.
Last meeting I tried to get to, I fell through the world and died. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like maybe TPs.
Oh, yeah, you can-
I
you just
actually
gotta
had
go
something
in
to bring
there.
up
Oh,
about it,
shit.
Put your
but
clone on.
Can I get a TP to the train wherever this is?
I'm still loading.
We
It's
might
gonna
have to
take me a
stop for
minute.
gas
I have
on
to
the
get
way.
in. I gotta get in the overworld first, but I'm gonna. Yeah.
Damn,
Fridge,
bro,
gonna
you're
have to
using.
keep
Fuck,
doing
yeah.
Okay, so
everything.
you
already,
can move
holy
around
shit.
on the train.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
Oh, damn, that's dope.
there's a passenger car that I think we should have it in.
Ooh.
Fuck. I should have. Now I feel like I should have gotten the other one that's a more open design, but I got one with a bunch of the little train compartments. 'cause
You
I
know
think
what?
That one's cooler.
We'll have a really cool train system
Fair.
later on.
Yeah.
Oh, the UN's gotta have its own personal train. I don't know why, it just needs to.
Of course.
I can
They
do
do hurt.
that.
Well,
Hmm.
technically, we have the 6 reps needed to continue the meeting. Okay, Cry can't make it. I'm gonna give Bryboner a little time to potentially exist, but I mean, we
How,
can.
how many?
Yeah, we can.
How many do we have right now?
Well, me and
Uh,
Mongolian are on the same faction, so we are right at the mark of 6. So we can.
also, who is just
oh,
using the
God.
Steam
Okay,
meeting?
I'm spawning in. Okay, that took me a minute. I forgot I was TP'd.
We are entirely capable of running this meeting. Let's. Yeah. Well, I said that he's online,
Hmm.
but like for some reason his Discord is fucking perpetually in Do Not Disturb.
I cannot like state how cool this looks.
A little bit. I think 10
Okay.
minutes is a little bit much. Like maybe just 5, just considering we're already late.
Like this
Fair
place
enough,
is
fair enough,
legit.
that's
So
fine.
I
like,
got a new
fine.
sword.
Fucking
Hold on.
shit,
Let's see what
okay.
this does for you. This is one hit. Alright, one hit of the sword.
Mr. Penguin, I love
Thanks
you.
for fucking like
Please
doing
don't
it
get
in
hurt.
front
I'm
of
gonna keep
everyone.
that.
Nice
Here's the
job.
thing, Mongolian. Here's the thing, Mongolian.
Yeah.
Just for stream stuff.
Oh,
Let me,
yeah. Tiger, I
reconnect.
never
Hold
showed
on.
you my sword.
Oh. It's only a
Okay.
fraction of it.
Okay, there we go.
That's fucking.
I'm here by the trains.
Oh my God.
Look at the train. Okay, I'm gonna jump into the power line just to see what it does.
Okay,
These are.
I just noticed
low
that
voltage.
Holy
so
shit,
it
it's
should be
zombie.
nothing.
my
Oh, it
message
doesn't-
to hold up
oh,
the
this
stats.
really does
He
anything.
should be.
Yeah, these are
he
low
should be
voltage.
here soon.
What's
So,
your sword?
so which? Oh God, this is cool.
How
Julian,
do you know
teleport
what
me.
I'm in the
voltage?
train.
How do you know what voltage to use? Like, I know it dictates
cool.
the amount of
Shit,
energy the
man.
wires can carry, but like, how do you
Get the fuck
calculate
outta
out
here.
how much energy all your shit needs?
Yeah.
Julian, teleport me to train.
Slash TP.
So how far does this train go?
darn,
Like where does this train
calm.
go so far?
So
we go, you
far
should
it
be right in front of me.
goes, out
Yeah,
to my
give me-
facility. There's a mining facility,
Holy
and
shit,
then
it's
we've
zombie.
got a shipyard that I'm working on to the north. It's like, let's see.
Fire right
From
here.
negative 117, negative 584,
Oh my, sorry.
all the way
You're
down
good.
to
Sorry.
negative 749,
Bro,
258.
put that thing
So
away.
it's like several hundred blocks. It's a few kilometers.
Oh, what's this? Oh, this is the train making thing. I forgot.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I need to make one of these.
Excuse
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my pants fell down real quick. Sorry, I gotta put it back in.
Did Tiger just flash us?
I believe so. I'd be careful with those wings. Not this wire, but those wires over there do a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
damage to you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
can
already
you show me
joined,
which
don't
ones?
worry.
Which ones? Oh, these do a lot of damage. I want to see how much damage.
Yeah, here.
Oh, damn!
Yeah.
That actually does do damage.
Yeah.
Let me
How low are
see.
you?
If you jump into
Oh.
this one, it's killed me like 6 times.
Which one? I'm at half a heart.
This one right here. So if you
Uh,
if you walk to the end of this one, you should be fine. Like walk
So
over to where
this
I
copper
am.
thing is the treated wool scaffolding damaging at all?
No. So this line right here, directly above my head, that goes to this machine, has killed me like 6 times because I like stand on this one while using that machine.
I have an idea. I
jump
have
into it.
I have a really devilish idea.
What is your devilish
Oh, hey,
idea?
DJ, wait, are you fucking... Did the cult rejoin... Did the cult join the UN? I forget. I know that...
I told Scrubby that we were planning to, but I don't think he's not announced it in the public in the politic announcements.
Yeah,
and
it's not
I was
quite
kind of going
official.
to
Let's just-
check that.
Let's just,
So,
let's just
TJ,
let's
my
just say that-
man.
let's just say that they are. All right,
I'm-
let's get over to the train. Let's get back over to the
well, I
train.
mean, hey, we
Dangerous
can
area.
all
It's-
vote on that right now.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey, Brian.
Oh, epic.
So yeah, let's start this. Let's start this night off with
Let's all get on the train.
adding.
Holy
You
shit,
have
it's a zombie.
permission.
Let's start this night off with a vote to let the cult re-enter the UN.
Fuck it.
Yes.
Like, get that out of the way. I don't see why not. Hang on, I can't run the official fucking like vote page or whatever.
Why are we in bubbles?
Tiger, put me down.
The train is in a bubble.
Hang on.
No!
Who's,
No! Oh my god! Holy fucking shit! I was about to kill you.
I didn't
What?
think
Maybe
it
I
happened.
fucking should still kill you.
What did I?
What?
Okay, that scared me. Hey,
fucking
thank you
train.
for the follow.
I didn't think the train counted as an attack.
I look away
No,
for
of
like
course
3
it's an
seconds.
entity.
I turn back. The train's in fucking midair. The Polar Express recreated.
Tiger, everything in this game, if it's not a block, it's an entity.
I didn't think I'd put a train in a bubble.
Well, I didn't think that
Oh
you
my
would do something
God.
that stupid.
Yes, you can walk around on the top too. It's dope. I don't know if you can walk on the top while it's moving, but I feel like you should be able to. Where
I
is
got it.
everybody? Because
Should
this train only has so
I'm
much
next-
fuel.
I'm next-
yeah, I'm
to-
not. I'm
Yes.
not showing up to the location.
Holy shit.
How do you?
Yeah, but we're still waiting on 2 people to even join the
Oh,
server.
okay.
If you're
Brian-
voting on
Brian
the
just got in
TP,
the
we can
VC.
Well, I am
see
here,
the
Fridge.
place.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, so, you guys,
Welcome.
so I should join the
Enderman.
server is what I'm hearing then.
Yes, you should.
Brian,
You
are
don't
you
have to,
going?
but you should.
Could I get
Yeah,
permission
Brian, are you
talk
going to be
in the-
getting on the server to attend the
Yes.
in-person meeting?
Could I get permission to talk in the UN meeting? Because I couldn't really say anything.
Yes.
Or should
yes.
I?
Are we doing
I'll give
armor
you the
off again,
UN.
or?
Give him the UN rep role since
Yeah.
Brian is like repping for Finland half the time as much as
I'm basically
much
the
as
leader of
Swazi.
Finland at this point.
Yeah.
UN rep. All right. This is not technically the UN meeting, but the UN voice, but whatever.
Oh,
Are
What
we?
do you
mean,
shut
is
to?
the-
fucking throw.
Are we have? Do we have armor on? Are we caring about that?
No, we should take
Oh,
armor off.
Okay.
Take it off? Okay. Oh, I should take off my pajamas as
Cool. I
well.
get to be
so-
Sephiroth again.
Just take off
There we
everything,
go.
really.
Yes.
There we
Take
go.
off
Give
all
my
your
boots.
clothes.
Boots are
take-
fun.
I'll-
Like
I'll
slime
take- I'll
boots
take
and
off my
cloud
helmet.
boots, those are fun. I
Yeah.
guess.
And
Nice
my
and comfy,
space talker thing.
Or just let me be ready when everything's sorted out over there and we're ready to get on with the
Look at me.
meeting.
All right.
Look at the space food I have. I found this in space. It's definitely safe to eat.
God, my
I
fucking
want it.
boots are.
Give me one.
My boots are fucked up. We need to find out how to get
Yeah,
mending.
that's perfectly fine to eat.
Yeah.
Before we
Thanks for
start
being
the
my
meeting-
test subject.
No
Before
problem.
we
By the
start
way,
meeting-
I know things about this mod pack.
Now, give
that'll
Brian a
kill you
chance
in
to
the next
speak
2 to
here.
5 minutes.
before we start the meeting,
I'm
Oh.
joking.
we should highlight whatever we want to talk about before going in. Just like
Trains.
No,
I
well,
had-
okay, trains. We'll hold a quick segment to reintroduce the cult into the UN, and then I also would like to discuss the Articles of War. I assume that's like the main. The
Yeah.
main.
And we also need to discuss opening up the end.
I'd also.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to bring up the subject of whatever the briefing has been going on, as well as
Yeah, we should address that.
as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as
Alright.
waypoints.
What do you mean?
Well, just from what I've
briefing. I
heard.
misheard
yeah.
you. Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said briefing, and I was confused. Okay. go on.
Oh.
What are you at now, Mong? I watched you walk into it. What are you at now?
You lost 2.5 hearts.
What happens if I go to
It
bat
knocked me
of
down to
whatever
3
the
hearts. I
fuck?
did not realize I was muted.
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
Word.
That damaged me quite a bit, though. I thought it would, I wasn't even paying attention. I thought I was fucking dead as soon as it hit me.
yeah. No.
I also had another.
Is there?
Get in the
Is
train.
there any-
I think we should, get in the train sometime soon, because we want to.
Yeah, we're just waiting on 2 people.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me
I'm
relog.
I've
Is
not
there-
been on the
My
server
fucking
since the
headphones
restart. I mean,
DC.
since the new server
No,
changed.
my
Oh, okay.
don't work.
I hope that the introduction, that if we ratify the articles, I hope that'll get people to be active again, and also we can like tell them that the lag has like seriously gotten better.
Yeah, same. Something I also wanted to bring up was inactivity. I've been noticing that activity on the server has dropped a lot, and I don't want that to
The fuck
continue.
how'd I get here?
Yeah, no, I think.
I wanted to bring something up in that regards regarding factions, because should people be allowed to have a faction if they're literally not active on the server at all?
I think they should.
Yeah, that's
not.
another thing we have to figure out.
I have an idea
yeah.
regarding that, but I'll bring it up later when it's time.
Okay.
I also
So
want to
what,
say thank you for the follow,
yeah.
ass neck. I appreciate it.
Ass Nick. All right.
It's now forever on my overlay. That's the best.
All right. Everybody take your
What
armor
order-
off
so
except
what
for
order
like
do we
cloud
wanna carry
boots
these
or
issues in?
slime boots, and get on the train.
All right,
How did you
hold
run?
on.
Do you just
How do you
Uh,
make
if you want to get into the
How?
passenger car, either right-click on the passenger car or literally walk backwards. You can walk through all of the
I'm
cars
in
in the
the.
train.
Oh, here we go.
So if you walk, why
oh,
can't?
hi.
Oh,
Why
I
can't
go.
we walk
Oh,
back?
okay. Hey.
Wait, we should be able to walk backwards.
I could earlier.
The door is closed.
I still can.
I'm just gonna.
I'm
God.
in the driver's
Okay, don't-
car.
I was gonna say I'm gonna shift to make it look like I'm sitting, but then it's took me
Okay,
outside.
everybody get
Oh,
out of the
shit, yeah, I
driver's
forgot
car
that kicks
and
you out.
everybody get out of the driver's car and go to the
What?
passenger car. Just so
Don't
L
try.
left
How did
shift
I-
to get
how did
out.
I-
Hey there, golden brother.
Hello.
How did I get here?
Let's just walk.
Choo choo.
TJ, look
Choo
behind
choo,
you.
motherfucker.
I can't hit people.
Choo-choo,
I
motherfucker.
can't
Oh, never mind, you
I
disappeared.
can't even hit people.
Oh god, this is
TJ.
so cool. I
Right
really
offense.
want to go training.
Oh, okay. Epic. All right, so
Everyone's
we're
in the
gonna
train.
get on our way.
Right?
Hold on. I'm not there. I'm not there.
Oh.
I accidentally walked.
right, right.
Okay, we're fine.
TJ,
what
don't
I'll
say
be like
please.
2 more seconds. With it.
I can't even
Like
see
a
myself.
connection.
to
We
make
gotta
sure
wait
I'm-
for we gotta wait for Mong to get back. Yeah. So there was supposed to be there's a different car that we could have used, and now that we're doing this, I wish we had, but
Next time.
we'll be on the train. Now.
Prepare for next time.
Closing in the train car. Cringe.
Wait. It won't let me
Yeah,
go.
it's time to-
I could go all the way back.
Hello, Tiger. Do you enjoy riding in this train car with me? A loaf of bread from space?
Fuck it.
Passengers, please take your seats. The train will be moving shortly.
No.
Pulling
Okay.
up the train.
It's fucking. I'm sorry, my headphones disconnected, and I can't reload my resource pack to get my sound of Minecraft back, because then my game freezes.
TJ,
I'm gonna have to ask you to take a seat.
Wait, yeah.
Don't hit shift. Don't hit shift. It'll pull you out because it's a vehicle, and that means you'll
How do
have
I?
to come
How
back
do
in.
I? How do I take a seat? I right click.
Just
and
walk.
nothing
Just walk into the seat.
there
Just
are no
walk
seats.
in.
Just pretend to
Oh.
stand
Just
in the
pretend.
seat.
Just.
happens. Okay.
This is Minecraft. There's a lot of pretending here.
Oh, God,
I'm in,
all
I'm
right.
in the train.
The UN mission is now officially started. We're not quite
Oh,
at.
shit.
All right, here we
Cool.
go.
Yo.
Yo.
Alright,
Okay,
we're
this is actually
officially
so
started.
cool. What the fuck?
I know, right? We're going vroom vroom. Choo choo.
Alright. Well, let's get the quickest matter out of the way. Let's just.
Ran over a skeleton.
I mean, let's start a vote to add the cult back into the UN with
Is that a
TJ
vote
as
thing?
the rep. Why?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
and
so
everything's
actually,
a vote thing. It's a
Would it, be
fucking
possible,
UN.
would it be possible to allow multiple people to be rep? Because I'm busy a lot of the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
and-
Yep,
you
yep,
can-
you can.
Like
you
backup
can have
reps?
just a
Yeah.
backup rep. You should have a main rep, but you can like substitute people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing you'd give that to Sylvette? Or are you gonna think
Probably.
about that?
God damn it.
I'll have to think about it. It's either Sylvette or Stud, because Stud's
Alright.
like the main
True,
guru
right.
of my group, but like Sylvette's also I don't think I want to have Sylvette be the rep, probably,
All right.
because she
you
kind
can-
of
you
has
can-
the most disagreeing opinions about my group that between everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
in
go
it.
she's the
backwards,
most
it's awesome.
radical. Of the group.
Yeah, she's the radical. I'll say that's the way to put it.
Oh my god.
Radical party.
The radical
Alright.
cultists who demand that
So,
sacrifices be made.
Fridge. So because Fridge ran moderation with the discussion over the Sealand platform incident, I'd say, would you be good with setting up all the votes and shit?
I can, yeah.
All right. So yeah, just
And the train
set that
conductor
up.
too.
Add.
We're picking up gas real quick too.
Okay. So yeah,
Well,
just,
not gas, but oil.
unless there's any other fucking objections or whatever anyone wants to bring up before beginning a vote, just run that up.
Fair enough.
If you guys start picking up sand, that's okay. That's how it's designed to be.
I'm gonna blow this fucking train up.
In the train.
Tiger,
No,
holy
settle
shit.
down.
Oh,
Settle down.
Tiger,
Look at
Tiger.
me. Look at me,
Tiger,
Tiger.
holy fucking shit.
Can
Alright.
you see me, Tiger?
Third person right now. Oh, I see you.
Wait,
Yeah.
Tiger, can you take out your big sword? I want to see if
Oh,
I can
yeah,
see
sure.
it from the. I can't. Oh, I can see it. Oh fuck!
Hey,
Oh
Tiger,
fuck! We
where
gotta
are
stop!
you?
We gotta stop! We gotta stop! We gotta stop! We gotta stop! We gotta stop!
Why?
It's the train dong. The train's dong.
What?
Just crashing.
Why
I
did they
think we
stop the
stopped
train?
I
Fine.
have a
I think we
complaint.
Yeah, we stopped
What
the
seems,
time.
what seems to be the problem?
I think
Oh,
I
I
see
see
the
the
problem,
problem.
I
sir.
went up front. Now I can't get back.
No, no, no,
Stick
no,
'em
no.
up.
Oh, there we
There,
go.
I know
There we go.
that that's there. This line isn't finished. You guys get back on the train. I'm only going to get gas, so don't worry.
All right.
Okay,
well, I suppose we
okay,
can continue
everyone back
UN
on the
meeting.
train while-
Holding the meeting from the train is
Before-
beginning to seem like somewhat of a restrictor here, but
It's
In
Oh,
before,
whatever, it is what it is.
in before
more exciting
the,
than sitting in a-
train murder mystery starts.
I will say it's more exciting than just sitting still in a normal shack, you know?
Yeah.
fair enough.
We
fair
get a
enough.
good view as we
Yeah,
go.
we're gonna have a loop that we go around. It's just
Okay.
I mean, it's
I just
pretty-
needed fuel, so I
once
gotta go out
you-
to my oil platform, which is
Maybe you want to vote?
Once you
Oh,
get
well-
that, wait, you have to walk all
Alright.
the way out to the whatever. Just-
so for the first topic of discussion for today is going to be a UN train commission.
well, hang on, no,
me,
wait, you didn't fucking set up a vote to add TJ in. Do that.
Yeah,
I wanna do
we
that.
just
We
did
just
it,
did
didn't
that.
we?
Where was it? Oh, did you do it in the in-game chat? Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, of course we did. We
I
always
was
do that.
looking. Well, no, not on the fucking first meeting, so I got
Well, it
confused.
Yeah,
doesn't- it
but
doesn't
the
matter,
first
it doesn't
meeting was
matter,
weeks
there's-
ago.
All right, let's calm
Well,
down.
that's what I
everybody.
remember. All right, that's my bad. I'm sorry.
I
It
think
doesn't matter,
we've
there's
already
too many
established
lies.
that the cult is welcome back into the UN. So,
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm
TJ
pretty
is now an official rep, and TJ can participate in
On
voting.
behalf of the UN,
let's-
we'd like to formally welcome you back into the UN, TJ.
Bitch.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No
fair to
kidding.
die.
Apparently you can't eat while in the train. I learned that the hard way.
Can't beat people to death.
All right. So, anyway, sorry.
Oh,
what
so
were
we
you saying
can't have
about
train
trains?
murder
All right,
mystery?
so the first order of business. Fuck, I'm hungry and miles away from the train.
I'll come.
I'm
see- I'll
coming.
I'm
No,
gonna-
no, I'm good.
Hydro
I had a peach
Hydro-
on me.
Hydro delivery service.
I'm good.
On the way.
I had a peach
Alright.
stored in my inventory.
Damn, this is not a short train track.
No, yeah.
Where are you making it go to?
It's going out right now to my oil platform, and then I've got another branch that goes up to an island that I'm turning into a shipyard. And
This is
that's
pretty cool.
yeah. So it's a pretty long track already. And then once those two stations are done, well, not even stations, they're gonna be like shacks.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Once those areas are done, I'm gonna probably try to start expanding into a kind of a full server train system. And
That's
so
kinda
that's
cool.
that's what
That
That's
goes into the
continental.
UN meeting.
Yeah,
The
so-
UN
Hello,
It's
Pearl,
The
I
train's
muted so I can
Continental
say this.
Railroad.
How you doing?
funny.
Holy
I-
shit!
I'm bombing the train.
no, please.
I'm
I worked
staying in
so
it.
hard.
Fridge, I would never.
Question though. Is it am I safe in assuming that too many people have voted yes for any no votes to count to say no to the cult of compressed cobblestone to disqualify them
Yeah,
from
it's
joining the
official.
UN. I really worded that badly.
Yeah, no, I think we've
Yeah.
established that.
What are you
they're
trying to
all-
say
okay,
here?
so-
You want to?
Okay.
What?
Can we
I
go
just
get on
hold
with the train? Let's
If
get on
you-
with the train.
If you look right, like hold on. If you look at yourself, like when you're walking around in F5 in the train, you have no walking animation.
You're just squatting. You're
Oh
popping
god,
a
you're
squat.
right. It's awesome.
you just slide.
All right. Anyway, first order of business today.
All right.
First real order of business
Where are you?
is setting up the UN Train Commission.
Oh,
So
take this.
I
Take
would
this, take this.
actually like to bring
oh,
up something
I
that
have.
we could.
Oh fuck.
I'll
back
give
here
you
now.
whatever. Here, take this.
Epic. Oh wait, hold on.
Can you please refrain from distractions? I will be really upset if we talk about a bunch of other things and then no one feels like talking about the
Yeah,
articles.
main
again.
order of business today is the articles because we do have to get those
Yeah,
right.
but well,
Yeah.
let's do the
I like
train.
to check
Let's do
the
the
ends.
trains first. I just don't try not to get off track, please.
But yeah,
Oh my
essentially,
God.
Me and Fridge have devised a sort of like
Try not to
committee,
get off track.
and I hate you.
All right, everybody, make sure you're on the train because we're about to leave again.
We'll continue when the train starts moving.
I just want to reiterate. We definitely need to talk about the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Definitely
but
can
we're
hold
we're
that
on
off.
trains right now. We're on
Yeah.
trains right now.
I suppose.
Okay. Fridge, do you want to take it or should I?
I can start us off. Basically,
Favorite kind?
a number of people
Butterfly shrimp is great.
want to set up, help with a server-wide railroad. And so we wanted to set up a commission through the UN to facilitate said train network.
All right.
Do you need iron for it?
Yeah, we need
Yes.
iron, lots of it.
The main plan was to get subsidies from
Yes.
the signing factions for iron and steel,
Yes.
Alright.
along with the obvious permission to build the train on their territory,
Right.
because this would run from faction to faction, so that we wouldn't have to use waypoints.
Sounds good.
All right,
How would
so
you make it work, like going across oceans and stuff?
Bridge.
we would need a bridge.
Bridge, yes, land bridge.
I'm
I'm
a
gonna
little
be gone for a couple
concerned.
moments. Just continue without me.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we have enough people, so.
I'd like to
And, like,
voice
another
a
thing is that, but like another thing is just the fact that like, wouldn't this also be a concern for any group that's in a war?
exactly what I was trying to say.
The main intent for this is that it's not allowed to be used in warfare, because this is a whole UN collaborative effort.
Well, I don't
But if
think I don't think that matters though, because if you're like trying to hide your base or whatever, and then hey,
Well, you wouldn't be hiding your base because of the
Yeah.
map plan that we established.
Yeah,
Yes,
maps are
hiding-
going out anyway.
Yeah, maps going out, and also there's going to be a whole system of like declaring your different ownerships under the Articles of War. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you could have a secret base, but your main base would not be secret.
Yes.
okay.
And in this case, you could opt out of the Continental Railroad program, and the train system would not run.
We're gonna
your
kill the
base.
zombie. It's dead.
Not the
Yeah.
zombie.
If you don't,
you wouldn't have to participate, but the train would not be near your system or near your faction.
Oh god.
Okay. If you can just opt out, then that's good to know.
Any faction that signs on is the factions that are going to help with the program. If you don't want to participate, then that's completely fine.
oh fuck!
What the fuck?
Sounds good. So
Okay,
God, we're
I
going
didn't make that turn too big. I made that turn too small.
I think we need to. Well, do we
I
want to
made that turn way too small for this train.
What is happening?
guys?
Trust me, guys.
Get a little
Strap in.
nervous.
Okay, we're
Fridge
all
knows
back
what
at
he's
your
doing.
base.
Yeah, I do know what I'm doing. I actually know a lot about this mod just because I was so excited for fucking choo-choos.
It's,
All right,
are we all
let's
gonna
see,
die? Is
direction.
this the plan?
No, you're good. You're good.
Alright, well, okay, I'll take
If we
these
weren't
off for
dead,
now.
You'd already be dead.
Oh, fuck off, please. God, please be forgiving to me for once. Please, please.
Guys, you know what I said
No!
about the faction?
Oh, you're fucking joking. We're out of. Okay, we have no more oil now.
You know what I said about
That's-
fractions?
That's one of the biggest
Yeah, it was the
problems
apartment one.
with the train system is that for factions to cooperate, we're going to need a steady fuel source.
Yeah. Well, yes, a fuel source is also another very important part of the.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
let's.
we've already got a fuel source going for our train, right? But as you saw, it's a little bit inefficient at this moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think we could continue using the train for today unless you guys want to
You
talk
just sit
while I
in
go
the
out on
train
an
without
adventure.
moving.
Yeah. Here, I'll go pick up more oil and you guys
Where's the
can
back
stay
of
in
the
the
train
train.
go?
I
Or-
took it.
Oh.
That's what happened. That
Oh, what the fuck?
Uh-oh.
What just
You
happened?
took the server with you.
Well, gentlemen,
It crashed
The
the
server
server. Let's go.
Wait.
Well done,
Well,
guys. Well fucking.
oh no, the
The
server
power plant.
closed. Rather. Oh boy.
Why?
I flew right into a power line for that happened.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's
it's 'cause
keep
of the
let's
train-
keep going.
The train
So
shut
we
down the server.
we've established that we want to have a UN Railroad Commission. How are we going to go about that? So the things we need to do, we need to get permission from people to use their land for the railroads.
well, so
we
permission
need
would be
to-
given upon signing.
yes.
So
Well,
we don't have to get it. From
Well,
people.
no, well, yeah, but like, sorry. Anyways, then we have to figure out like how are we going to distribute the subsidizing of resources? How are we going to determine, how much everyone gives and like, yeah. And then yeah, so I just I don't really know how to go about any of this. I'm just kind of laying it out.
Yeah.
So how specifically are we going to go about the resource subsidization?
Well, essentially, we're just going to go about asking the factions what they can and cannot provide.
All
and
right.
we will collect subsidies accordingly.
All right, so yeah, it doesn't have to be super specific, I guess.
Yeah.
And then if we need certain resources, then we will request that of factions.
All right.
Also, upon this vote, this isn't a vote saying that you're in the program. This is just a vote saying that you are okay with ratifying and enacting this program.
Yes.
Are we typing
We
this
also
in
need to.
Discord?
So one thing we should specifically lay out is who are the members of the commission that will be running this. Fridge, obviously, but do you want anyone else on the commission with you, Fridge?
Bry.
Yeah, it would be a joint commission run by Finland and Neo Olympus at the current moment.
All right, and is there anyone else you want for it?
Not at the current moment.
All right. So yeah, that just sounds good. Establish Brian and Fridge for the Railroad Commission. We can fucking... We don't... again, for something that's just like railroads, just out of habit, I wanted to try to like think of the specifics of it, but it's a railroad. We don't have to get super into the nitty gritty right at the moment.
Yeah,
At the
That's
current
the
moment,
only.
we're just figuring out whether or not we want this railroad.
Yeah, and that sounds good. We can worry about the nitty gritty later. I was just yeah. Also, so
Right.
what?
Well, let's just vote in UN meeting. For
Okay,
now, so I guess I should.
Put up the fucking what you're
vote.
voting.
Yeah, that
what
would
you're
suck.
voting for.
Topin, for you not to know.
You guys can put yours. I'm just editing my message.
I still don't have
Voting begins
permission.
now, everybody.
Yes.
So
TJ
for
does not have permission to speak in UN meeting.
I
will give
muted
him
you, but we're having a UN meeting. The server crashed, so
It says he's
Yeah.
a UN member. Oh, he's the only UN member. I thought Cry had.
so this
Give
is
him
I
rep.
gave him your member. I was looking for rep before you gave it to him.
what is this a vote for again?
Oh, the trade committee.
That's what I
Railroad.
said to fucking put up the fucking what we're voting on. Holy shit!
I'm editing it right now.
Editing what?
My message.
Oh, okay. You're
Okay.
editing it. Sorry.
I want to make sure I see the exact wording. Okay.
Well, describe Hillary Clinton as PFP.
What the fuck did you just say?
I'm cool that I have to see whether my team is cool with it being built to us, though, or whatever, or what have you. That
We don't,
Yeah,
we don't gotta figure that out yet.
Yeah,
yeah, you guys can discuss that with your team. And
Yeah.
then if you want to join the program, you just contact either me or Fridge. Because I think it's getting ratified, considering.
All right. Mongolian seems to be mute. I'll just take his place for the time
Yeah,
being.
yeah. No, he gave you
Ah, sorry, missed that.
permission.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that seems like a resounding yes. Put that in. Actually, yeah. Hold on. Don't forget to put these. These.
None of us
these
can. Only Scruffy can.
Scrubby's the only one with permission. Holy shit.
Scrubby and Cry,
Can you-
because they have the Cry
It's
role.
It's not an admin thing. Fuck.
No, it is an admin thing. It is an admin thing.
Or
But the only
mod thing, I
admins
meant
are
to
Scrubby
say.
and Cry.
I meant to say
Okay.
mod. My bad.
I'm an admin too. I
fridge.
think Julian. I think Caligula is Caligula an admin.
Yeah, I am. Uh,
Real quick, yes, the server is dead. Just clarifying. I'm pretty sure I said that, but I wanted to make sure.
To go into UN decisions and officially post that the cult of Cobblestone
No,
has been.
nobody can.
I'll do it.
yeah, we can.
Yeah,
I,
wait,
was-
Tiger Flag.
Dude, I can
Tiger
do it.
Flag
I can do it right now. Okay.
No, I fixed it so that mods can now post in there.
Oh, okay, it's whatever.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
Tiger's
Well,
doing
yeah.
it now.
Trump.
So yeah, put in the cult of Cobblestone. Yep, and the Treen Commission.
Compressed stone. Get it right.
True. Also, is anyone figuring out what the fuck is happening with the server?
I'm going.
What do you
on
mean?
right
What's
now.
happening? Oh, did it?
It's
Yeah,
not.
I'm gonna get it reset up.
Doesn't
right
it like reset like 4 times a day, which in my opinion is kind of often.
No, yeah, but it gives a fucking warning in chat before it does that.
Huh.
Usually, so this is some weird shit.
Yeah, no, and
This
it's
one
also that one's also at 9. I think it might be at 10.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
so
some
this
weird
is.
shit.
I just want it for the record that this is the first time this has ever happened while I've been on. To the
Yeah,
server.
same.
This is unusual.
Yeah, I think that was literally just a something happened and it's whatever.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're working on getting it back up.
Yeah.
My chat was asking about it, so I just put server dead lol on in text on my overlay.
Sorry, Golden Brawlers chat. I'm glad I'm not streaming right now. Well, I don't want to say I'm glad I'm not, but
So-
I'm glad that happened while I wasn't streaming.
So next order of business, let's discuss the end quick. I think that'll be a quick one.
Yeah, it's really quickie.
I think we should just. I kind of don't want to just open it, but I also think just like opening it tomorrow at noon would be fine.
Yeah,
I think
I was
just
talking about
And
this
it's
with
back
people
to
an hour
full.
beforehand.
and scheduling an event because we're all just gonna beat the shit out of the Ender Dragon in
Yeah.
like 2 seconds. There's no point to making it some
No,
event.
yeah, we should have
They're
opened
true.
the end week 1, but
They're
we were too
so-
focused on lag issues.
Yeah.
So do we want to just
I-
open it right now or set it for a time?
I think
So
setting
the
for a
only
time
thing-
is
the
better.
only
Just for
thing that's a little
fairness, having it for
concerning
time.
is the fact that the dragon egg can be used for good stuff in this pack. So it really, ideally,
to the
I think
UN.
it would be best. I don't think that's kind of lame. I think it should be for whoever gets it gets it. Because I think that's interesting. Because
And then,
some
you know,
people want
people
the
fight
egg,
over it.
someone's gonna get it, and people are gonna be incentivized to do something about it.
Yeah, that'll create some.
It'll-
interesting
But I don't
really
think
conflict.
we
Yeah,
shouldn't just
conflict.
open it now because people should have the chance to realize when the end is going to open. But then it's just we're not like accommodating anyone. If you can't get on for when the end opens, sorry.
So what time do we want to put that at? I don't know how I feel about noon.
I,
Yeah.
How
just
about
like
9 p.m. EST?
That's
That's
a bit late. I
Yeah,
think
that is a
like-
little late.
I think like
6 p.m. EST.
that's
I
not
think that
bad.
would be fun.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's good because you have to accommodate for all the different time zones. So
Yeah,
that'll be. I
so-
think that'll be
yeah.
good for everyone. Yeah. All right. Put that up as a vote. Open the end tomorrow, 6 EST.
After the I assume we're talking about the articles after this, yes.
Yeah, probably. Unless there's any other quick issues to discuss.
After that, we really should address the griefing that's happened.
Yes.
Yes.
all right, so let's
That's
start
more
in
of a, well,
on.
the thing, that's more
I'm
of a
going to be
counter-
gone for about 10 or 20 minutes, but I shall come back. It's still here. For the most part.
Hang on. The
There's one small
griefing.
thing that I would like to
The griefing is like a fucking an official rule that is banned by the server. It would be nice to do something about that, but that is just not on the caliber of the UN. That is like an admin side thing to work this out. Because griefing is not a UN rule. That's an official rule.
Yeah.
Have the admins addressed it already, or?
Not really. We haven't done anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, so it's back up, by the way.
we've
That's good to
found
know.
some stuff out, but I think I don't know what our plans are on it right now.
We honestly need to take more action because we've done very little about it. if
I mean,
anything.
we kind of just don't know all that much about it. We have some leads, but that's it.
One sec.
But yeah, I think I agree that I think that's something the mods should do. I think
'Cause,
we're not.
I mean, this kind of is a UN issue because the Illuminati pets were stolen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that is
I
true.
well-
think we should go about
That is the
retrieving
UN.
this.
That is a purely UN issue.
Yeah, we should go about retrieving this.
Okay, so
I'm
funnily
back.
enough, we do know who has those as admins, but I don't know if like if you
What?
guys want to investigate through the UN or if you don't really give that much of a shit.
I mean, do we
personally-
have?
I think
leads?
it's a bit of a problem.
Okay, so there is somebody on this server with 3 Illuminati pets in their inventory.
I need to find. I
Okay.
mean, we find them. I'm going
Wait,
to kill
how
them.
do you
Wait,
know that?
okay, so I should say I still have mine because I haven't been to the
Okay.
UN building since, so I can
Alright.
get rid of mine right now.
That only reinforces.
Yeah, wait, but I'm just.
the
How are
point.
you? How are you aware that someone
Oh,
has
shoot.
3?
We can. Admins can look inside inventories.
Which seems kind of unethical, to be honest.
That's. I'm not
I
in
think-
the context of the server. I'm not
I
gonna
agree that
lie.
it's
That
unethical.
feels like fail RP.
I mean,
RP.
right?
I
but,
mean,
like,
seriously, if we're playing this as this is something within the context of the server, going out of the context in the confines of the server, I don't know. It just
But-
feels
but
weird.
we're-
I'm not
we're
gonna
I
lie.
keeping
think
it.
it's
We're
okay for like
keeping it
bannable
because-
stuff. I think that's
yeah,
perfectly
exactly.
fine.
That's why we
Yes.
have it, and
Yeah.
we were investigating.
We need a,
and
we
Okay,
need a
but
still
the-
not
warrant.
sure if
We
it's
need
a
a warrant.
The
bannable.
Illuminati pet is something that's banned by
No,
the UN.
okay.
So
Right.
technically,
Okay.
because
Okay.
if someone wasn't in
All
the
right,
UN
let
and
me
had
let me
them, it doesn't
explain.
matter.
Let me explain. So there's been a shit ton of griefing, so we don't know like what's related and what's not, right?
There's no an Illuminati pet theft wouldn't be related to griefing.
Yeah,
Those are
it's
two
not.
entirely
It
different
could,
things.
and we don't know
How?
that
The Illuminati pet
because
just gives you
because
items.
if you're
Don't-
just going around griefing shit, you're gonna see a chest
Will do.
with really powerful items, and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna
But
take
the
these.
Illuminati pets were the,
I could
the
try.
ones
I
that
don't
were
know
left in
how
the UN,
Yeah.
they're not in the UN.
acceptable
and-
he would be of that.
Well, some people don't even know that we have a UN. Some people are literally leaders of factions and haven't been on the server at all, right? So we can't assume that everybody knows the same things that we know, right?
Right.
True.
So, you know, they might just see it as good loot, right? And they just yoinks it.
Well, either way,
And it could. We don't know if it's related to the griefing. We don't know if it's not. I
That
mean,
constitutes death.
so like,
either way, it's something that the UN should deal with because it's it's
UN should deal
banned.
with the Illuminati pet stuff, but we're still. But we were looking at inventories in relation to griefing.
Though I will say it is my personal opinion that if it's UN banned, then it's the UN's responsibility to resolve it. Using tools by mods, using mod tools is something that should be up for debate. But it shouldn't be resolved at all by mods.
Admins are gonna keep that power. Mods are gonna definitely keep that power just because.
Oh, no. I think we should keep that power,
Yeah,
but I
you-
don't think we should use
Right.
it until we determine when
That's
to use it.
okay. That's why I haven't said the name of the person yet.
You can
Yeah,
check.
no,
in-
I
wait.
will say I think it was unethical in this situation
I don't think.
to use the power without discussion of whether or not we should use it beforehand.
I think it was
I
big enough.
don't. I disagree because we were looking into it, in specific because of the griefing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with
I-
Fridge.
Considering
As long as it's
I'm
not
just-
used.
considering the griefing event that just happened.
Yeah. So what griefing events have gone on? Because I'm aware there have been some, but wasn't the one
so-
on the Turks false?
Oh, that one was from our own, and that's being
yeah.
dealt with. So
Yeah. So
right.
Turks, I don't think was even part of it, honestly, because I think
Well, that was one of the first
resolved-
ones that I remember being brought up. So
Right, but there were.
Yeah.
No. So
like the
first
Waystones
ones that were
being
brought
at
up.
spawn, for example, I think.
Yeah,
was
the first ones that were brought up were Waystones. The one at spawn
Fridge.
was destroyed.
I
Yeah.
broke your railroad. I'm sorry.
How did you break it?
Oh no.
I hit it.
Yeah, don't hit the rails because they're big and expensive.
How do I fix
So-
it?
You cannot. I have to. Because I
up.
have the right equipment. So just wait
Okay.
until I come back with my oil.
I'll do that.
Look at it. Look at it. Fucked up. What the fuck?
You will have to give me back all that treated wood and all of the rail.
That's the intention. I'm not gonna steal your rail.
Yeah,
Yet.
you better fucking not. But yeah, there's been a bunch of thefts, which is why we were looking at inventories. We at New Olympus have lost a lot of things. We've lost our immersive railroading book. We've lost several stacks of Inferium. And we've lost a
Okay.
number of other things.
Isn't theft when people are online within the parameters, though?
Yeah, isn't that allowed?
It is,
How they
but
would
it happened
determine
when
that?
none of us were online.
How are you aware of that?
That's
just
the
like, how
thing.
would you-
That's the thing.
Because
There's no
we
way
can-
to know.
Yes, there is, because the immersive railroading book was in there when I left, and it was not there when I got back on, and none of my teammates had been on since.
Do you have a suspicion on who
So-
it is?
I do not. I don't know. I did have a suspicion very early on that it was Caligula, but since he hasn't done anything with immersive railroading yet,
No,
that I can
I
see
made
it.
my own railroading book. Why would I need to steal
Okay.
yours?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
It was just a suspicion, so we.
yeah.
This is true. I did demand a train from you. I did
Yes,
demand
exactly.
a train from
The
you.
day before, the day before it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
mods
can't
are
get off
still
the
gonna
train.
use
I offer.
our mod powers
I offer.
when they're needed
I offer
for,
to
Also,
for
Sealand,
mod
for
stuff.
Sealand, wasn't the rocket ship stolen?
Yes,
but
the
it
rocket
doesn't
ship was
matter. I already
stolen.
have
Right.
the tier 1 up, and I'm gonna be honest. It is miffing, but I'm since it was mostly in mine and Waz rocket ship. I don't really want to go after it so much because I don't care.
Well, depending on the
Right, but,
time frame
like-
in which that happened, that could either be a UN issue, which we could just let go, or that could be a server issue.
Well, I don't think it would be a server
It happened.
issue.
It happened during the same time.
As
If
what?
someone stole it from you while none of you were online, then that's directly against server
Yeah,
rules.
as the rest of the thefts. The earliest ones was that. Okay, we don't really have a timeline. I think we should. That's mod stuff to put together, but there is a general time frame that a lot of this stuff happened in, and it's like it is the couple of days surrounding the new server host.
I just like to say that I'm currently getting a suggestion from outside of this VC that if we're gonna use mod powers. If we're going to use mod powers to determine things like inventory contents, then we need to a warrant from the UN.
For something through the UN, I'd be down for that. But I
Yeah.
was talking about using mod powers as mods, which we're gonna, continue to do.
Or have
because-
somebody that's a mod that's not a part of any faction do it, because at that point they can't. Really...
Well, no.
The thing is,
We're not okay. The mod powers. I am saying that if the mods need to use the powers we have, we are going to use them, right?
Again,
This is not part of the discussion for the UN, and I don't know why we're stuck on it.
I am a mod, and I have as much
I'm
right
also
to
a
make a
mod.
statement. Yeah, I'm saying I have as much right to say this as the other mod.
Well,
I don't know anyone's name.
I have more than both of you.
in that.
Tiger's
a
an
lot of us-
admin, so like.
we have we're all in factions, or if we're not in factions, we play on this server. Therefore, we have some sort of biases, and I don't think it's fair for people.
I
for us to be able
genuinely
to
okay.
take
If your
action without
if
consulting
your
others.
biases that you are gaining from a fucking Minecraft game are so clouding your judgment that you are gonna just ban people willy nilly and use your powers willy nilly, that is 100% on you.
You shouldn't be an admin in the first place.
Yeah.
Again, I think the issue here is that there is no fine line between what we deem to be the UN's problem and what is a server problem.
This
There
is
isn't,
true.
and that's okay. This is a Minecraft server made up of friends. We don't really have to. It's not really a
Here's what I think.
necessary line that we
Here's
have
what
to.
I think. I think someone is going all around willy nilly, taking shit from other bases. I think that's a server issue, not a UN issue. That concerns pretty much everyone. Like if you're not following the hardline server rules, and that's a problem that should be addressed, regardless of the UN.
Well, that's the issue because we've gone over allowing stealing when people are online. So it's not just a hardline mod server issue.
Have we-
Because it
have
depends.
we
Why are we
on the
hanging up on
context.
this one exactly?
That's a good point.
It depends. If they're like, if you're at their base and you steal like right in front of their faces, then like
Here, let's
That
make a line. Let's
constitutes
make a
The whole
line.
point of stealing when
We can
someone's
make a
online,
line. We can make a
wouldn't
line
know.
right now. We can make a line right now. Stealing is banned by the UN.
I think that's
Then
a
it
good
becomes a
one.
UN issue.
In general, it's banned. That's a good idea.
Well, we would have to vote on that because
Yeah.
we've already voted on theft being. Like,
Yeah, so we could just ban theft entirely. It's just a vote. That's what we're here to do
Yeah,
is
yeah,
vote.
sure.
So I don't know why
True.
having
think
a
that's a
vote on
good idea.
that would be
Yeah,
surprising.
let's run
It's
the vote.
banned by the UN. But I will say, I just want to point out that this makes theft in all forms a UN issue.
Yep.
or would it be
Okay.
okay during
Theft
war?
of
Would that
everything
matter?
except for waystones because waystones is
server banned.
yeah, that's a anything that is banned specifically in the rules, that is stuff mods will take over for.
That makes sense. Yeah, Waystones.
I was going
Waystones
to
is a
ask real
weirdo.
quick about one tiny detail about theft. I don't know if it really matters, because whatever, but, like, what about during war? Does that matter too, or eh?
It depends on if you win or not. Is that a war crime? Is it not? I don't know. But yeah.
At what point do you even decide when someone's won a war?
We've got to go over war score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have
we
to go
really
over
do.
war
That's-
score and
that's
article
what we're
four.
doing
Should we
today.
go over it?
We're
doing that today.
literally doing right now. All right.
I had
so
one
let's-
point.
Let's move in.
Okay.
Let's transition into that. Let's get this stealing vote done real quick.
I did have one.
Let's just do it in decisions because I don't know if is everybody actually on the
I
server.
can't get on the server.
I am.
Okay, yeah. So let's just
I'm
do it
on
in
the server.
decisions.
Yeah, decision's a good one.
Not decisions, meeting.
All right.
All right. Let me type in the thing.
I got you.
Epic.
Oh shit, this is cool.
voting yes, but Discord's laggy. Alright.
There is like one small thing I'd like to just bring up as like probably not a huge topic, and if people like just straight up don't want to do it, then we can just not even think about it. But right now it seems like the UN is rather inconvenient to get to.
Okay, thank you, TJ,
And-
because that actually relates to something I wanted to bring up too. But I'll let you finish.
Okay, so I was thinking that like I don't know if there's any dimensions besides the Aether that does this, but I was thinking about possibly discussing whether we should move the location of the UN to like the Aether, because everyone who goes through the Aether portal will arrive in the same place.
I think that's a good idea.
I think my problem is how do you make sure that you leave and end up in your portal and not somewhere random?
It keeps track of that. Whenever you go through
Okay.
the Aether portal, it keeps track of which portal you went in. So everyone arrives in the same place. Everyone leaves back to where they originally were.
Because Lou brought up the idea of giving every team one waystone, since it's difficult to even make them. You need to kill a wither for it.
You can't make them.
That's not difficult.
A
There's no
waystone?
crafting
You don't-
recipes.
You don't.
Oh.
Okay, waystone. There's like two different things: a waystone and a waste scroll. Waystone's like infinite use, but has a cooldown. Waste scrolls, they don't use experience to use, but they're limited. Like you need to make one, but you, as many you can like make as many as you want. But like when you use them, they don't use experience, making them far more convenient. But they're like limited, so you gotta keep making more. Waystones are infinite, but have a cooldown.
Stupid
but use
skeleton.
experience. I gotta kill some. But you can use waste scrolls like anywhere, making them far more
Nobody
convenient.
will ever know.
Okay, I just remember Lou wanted to bring up the idea of like each team having a waystone, but I wasn't sure about that. That's why I wanted to bring it up, since it kind of relates to what TJ was saying.
I thought at the very first meeting we established that every team was going to have a free waystone, like one free waystone that they can put at their base.
I thought that was the flag.
Did we?
Oh, what
Yeah, I
was
think
it?
that was the
Yeah, that's
flag.
probably the flag, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know about
think it
waystones. One of the big reasons we didn't want people to be able to craft and place waystones was because we wanted to encourage like
Travel.
using travel, whereas with waystones you can just zip zap
my fucking
zoop
anvil.
Teleporting
everywhere.
here, there.
They do cost
So-
XP to use though.
Give my
It's
anvil.
exponential
Yeah.
depending on how far.
And this
No,
And
it
this-
caps out at a certain amount, I think.
Yeah, either way it limits transport infrastructure
Yeah.
because for shorter amounts people are going to be using it more, because it's less XP. However, it's also easier to make transportation infrastructure to start out on smaller scales. So if we're doing it on large, if we're doing it, if we're only allowing, if we're only using waystones as a method of, if we're using only waystones as a method of transport on small scales, we're not going to need them. We're not going to end up using them for large scales because no one's going to actually develop the transportation infrastructure for that. That took me
Okay.
far too long to say.
Yeah. We wanted to encourage using shit like
Trains.
immersive railroading.
I realize now that if every team got a waystone, that would kind of obsolete the railroad.
No, like even
There'd
for
be-
shit like trade, you would just have to make multiple trips. It would still be faster.
Then I'd kind of-
There'd be no reason to use.
You wouldn't have to waste experience too, because it will take like 20 experience levels just to use it for some cases.
Put it this way. Trains are cool. Waystones hurt trains. No trains. I mean, no waystones.
yeah,
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
No
that's my
waystone,
position.
but still,
Thank you,
but still,
Sonic, for the follow.
do any of like the admins have a problem with possibly moving the UN to Aether? Because that would be
I-
a convenience thing. and
that
Aether, I
wouldn't be
think,
an
kind of-
admin
I
thing. That
think
would be
the
the UN
is
thing.
kind of
We haven't
Okay.
started official work on the. At least not to my knowledge.
I have
It looks like
materials
the- yeah,
farmed. I was
looks
actually going
like
to start
the-
fairly soon. I think
Looks like
moving
the
it
area's
honestly.
been flattened out.
Yeah, I flattened out the area and started
I
gathering
think that
quartz.
I think that
I agree with TJ
But
on
I
that.
think
got the
like the
quartz for
main
you, too.
thing is just the fact that not every team is going to really have reliable transportation, especially to spawn. And it seems like this would just be a way to
Well,
put
if-
everyone kind of on the same level of being able to.
No,
get
because
to
if we put the UN in the Aether, you still have to travel to the Aether, then travel to the UN in the Aether.
You can place on an ether portal anywhere.
True.
It's like they're really easy to make.
Yeah, but you're just gonna
Yeah, literally all you need is ports.
you're just gonna
No. You
spawn
can
into the Aether
no. You
wherever
can
you.
make. Just look up ether portal and like the crafting thing and just everything. You need
Yeah,
like
but-
4 iron and 4 stone to make it.
I mean, are we going? If we do have the Aether, I mean, if we do have the. UN
I'm
building
making
in
it.
the
I'm
Aether,
making like literally right now as we speak.
Or is it going to be right in front of the portal, or are we going to make it away from the portal?
Maybe like
It could be
I mean
either
it could
way.
be either or. Yeah, either
That's
or.
good.
Probably not like
Right
right.
now again.
Probably like right outside of the portal. Like maybe like
Hold on.
a 10-minute, like a 5 or like just like
Shit.
a 1-minute walk at most.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly,
30
I
seconds
think-
right outside.
Hold on.
Honestly, I think making the portal part of the building would be kind of cool.
Here's the
I
haggers.
kind of agree with that.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, no, that would be cool.
You could have
Oh
like a
wait,
little
but no,
entrance.
because in the actual Aether, you spawn in like a campfire area. It's not like the same portal both ways.
I mean, it can still be a room in the building.
Yeah,
It's
it could
not
be
as
like the lobby basically.
The main thing is if people want to go to the Aether for reasons that aren't meeting related. That's why like it might be a good idea to have it like just outside.
Well,
Like, I
if
made an
if it's the
portal.
lobby,
I just-
then
I just put it. It's like over by me, by TJ. I just put it down. They're not hard to make.
Oh, I've not seen this kind of portal. I've only known about the quartz in the shape of another portal.
oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can break these. Okay, you can break.
I suppose we could.
Oh
do
yeah,
that
give me
before-
the shit back.
Yeah, I was
now-
really fucked this
for now,
up.
we have-
where are you?
For now,
Rich?
I'm
I
over
say
at the end of the station.
If we do vote to in favor of that, we should wait until the UN building is actually complete in the Aether.
Shit, it's inside. Why is
think
there?
the
Who
main
put a
problem
Twilight
is-
Forest portal here?
I think the main problem is
Should
some
have
people
the-
need to get like TP'd just to get to the meeting, and that's kind of problematic sometimes.
Guys, I can't destroy this.
I mean,
Place
honestly,
water
it's
on it.
not
Just
hard to
place-
make yourself easier transportation to the spawn. or
Not the
UN.
Twilight
Yeah, like
Forest
if
portal.
you don't have the actual transportation to do so, then that's kind of your fault. 'Cause
Yeah,
we have,
I mean,
we have
like
blimps.
it's really easy
We have
to make
blimps,
faster
cloud
transportation
boots,
than yeah.
slime
Yeah, we're just being
shields.
lazy.
Like, the whole reason that I assume that you guys want the Aether UN building is for convenience. Yeah,
Basically.
Yeah,
so
because it's like we're making this whole entire transport system and like wanting to have that be a like huge vital thing. So it seems like for UN meetings, that's like the main like important thing that every group kind of needs to be able to do. So it seems like that would just make it the most easy solution.
Because
Mhm.
I
You're
know
right.
last time it took me, because it takes me like 20 minutes to even get on the server in the first place, and if I just get pinged like, hey, we're doing a meeting in a half hour, that gives me 10 minutes to get there. It's like, I can't get there in time.
But if you had a train, could you get there in time,
You
or at
could.
least faster?
You definitely
Tiger,
could.
can I have some more food?
I
Yeah,
think you
that would
could if
also-
you had a train.
Everyone,
You could,
bugging me for
but
food.
that would
I'm
also
hungry.
make the
I don't-
problem of
I spend all of my time on steel.
It'd also make the problem of like if you really are not comfortable with just that kind of thing. And also the resources to maintain just getting to the UN.
What the fuck is that?
We should.
Why are you? Oh god, you have the
So-
last, not the last, the lead pet, don't you?
I have
So
the
should we
saddle
just
pet.
so should we just
Oh,
put
you
it to
can
a
do
vote now?
that?
Yeah, you can just ride any mob you want with it.
Should
You
we
can't ride
what?
players.
What?
You can't ride
Put
players. I
the
wish
put
you
the
could.
Aether UN to a vote now.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could. Do I have them? Do I have that?
Yeah, we'll start the vote on the Aether, the UN building.
Oh,
and the
this
Aether.
fucking spider's gonna get sending me into a fucking power line.
I do not have that.
Oh!
There we go. Do you guys want to vote on it then?
All right.
Any
So,
Sealand constituents who are watching
Fuck you,
this,
spider.
give me, tell me what you want.
Fuck you, spider. Bitch. It's like run, little bitch.
You have any
Griffin,
food?
that's you.
All right.
I
Change
cannot
that.
I'm
eat
like,
my
I'm gonna
steak.
fucking drive you nuts. I know, but I need like, listen, I need like a bag of potato chips.
You evil aura surround me.
Uh-oh.
Wasn't even looking up.
Steak.
You're there.
I'm gonna put the thing.
Oh,
telling you
God,
right now
shit,
because I
you
feel
got
like
a
you're gonna
train.
pick
Yo,
up my,
TJ,
pick up your train.
actual train, and that would be
Yo, TJ,
not
what the
ideal.
site?
Yes, I
What?
would steal it.
Yeah. So I'm not
Yo.
gonna tell you now.
Yo, TJ, look at, check out my
Google
eagle
works, though.
right here. My
What?
eagle right here.
Oh, nice.
I can like wave dash with it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gun.
How much?
Rapiers
How
are
much?
interesting.
How much of this? How much this? Oh my!
All right. We were about the
Vote on the-
Teleportation.
Yeah,
Aether,
but we were gonna talk about the
UN
we need to talk about the rules of
Yeah, but there's already a vote up for
Yeah,
the.
yeah. Let's just get the
UN,
vote
yeah.
out of the way.
Yeah, just get it out of the way, then we'll move on.
I'm just bringing us to the next topic, which is going
I don't know.
Yeah.
What,
abstain
abstaining.
today. If he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, literally, we're moving on, and it's his fault.
10
We
minutes is
also-
a
we have
little,
business
is a little
to discuss.
generous.
Well,
Yeah.
can't we just work on something else until he gets back?
Yeah. Do
Sure.
we have anything
Is
else?
the vote done
Tiger,
for the UN
where are
building,
you?
or
look at her food.
Mon? Could you
Because you
vote?
fucks don't know how to find them. You know what fucks don't know how to find some food.
Mong and Tiger Planet.
Yeah?
You guys
What?
gotta vote.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
okay.
Damn, it really does do a lot of damage.
I don't. I'm gonna vote no for that.
Tiger, how much money to stick your dick onto this hydraulic press right here?
All right. That is a 4
I'll do it for free.
4 for no, 3 for yes.
I mean, mine's already made of like the hardest material on Earth, so I wouldn't
Okay.
really do much.
We
Understandable. Have a nice day.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 4 no's, 3 yeses, 1 abstain.
Oh, looks like we're not
UN
going to
building
the
does not move to the Aether.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
It's okay, TJ. Strokes.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't. I kind of like the idea, but it's like.
Yeah. I feel like I would rather have it just in the overworld, and I would like to take my trains there. And I want to
Trains are
build a
cool.
big UN train station.
You know what we
Yes.
should do though? When we unlock the tier 3 rockets, we should like go to the There's like a planet, and like the more planets it's like just like the overworld, but it's like more like it's like weirder. If anything,
Yeah.
it's like
You can even survive there without oxygen.
you can
Or
breathe,
or-
you can like, you
yeah.
don't need any gear for it. You're just like it's fine.
Yeah, it's literally like the overworld.
That's kind of cool.
Also,
I'd like to go there sometime.
I don't know if now that we're off of this topic, I don't know if this should be voted upon the UN or if this is just a general thing. But a while back, I brought up the prospect of making like a UN like inquiries channel, in which
yeah.
the reps can put like just different topics they have in mind for the UN that we can address at the very next meeting.
I made a bit of an oopsie.
Nice job, Bong.
What is your oopsie?
Bong died.
Let me get back there now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to vote on that or we should just ask Scrubby for that.
Oh, thank you.
No, you're going to me. No, you're going to me.
I mean, I think we
Uh,
should. Scrubby would be fine with us just voting on that.
Oh God. What the heck?
You good?
I'm sorry. Can you ask the question again?
Make a UN inquiries channel for UN reps, or even like just random people to suggest things for the UN to discuss.
Yeah, like Lou
Something
brought
we should
that
be able to vote on.
thing up earlier, so that might be helpful for other teammates that have their own concerns.
Yeah, exactly. And then we can address those at the UN meeting after we discuss our main topics.
Yeah.
And we can also get censuses there if we need them too.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
I'm running out.
all right.
Referendums
Let's
or whatever.
vote
Wait, you need
on
food, TJ? Where are you?
adding a text
I'm on
channel
the
for
platform.
UN inquiries,
Thank you.
which
Yep.
will allow reps and private
Oh.
citizens
Cool. I just
to
did something dumb.
discuss
Very sorry about that. My grandma called me.
You
Oh,
came
you're back.
just in time because we just we're just about to vote on the UN inquiries channel.
The what?
Basically, just a channel in which anyone can put their thoughts and not thoughts, but questions or different topics that they want the UN to discuss
Go,
at the
Mom.
next meeting.
So I just went back to my computer and I'm at a single heart. I think a creeper detonated on me while I was AFK. Awesome.
We're
Dead?
staying here. Are you okay? You okay with just staying here for the rest of the vote, Mong?
Sure,
Are
fuck
you
it.
dead person?
Oh God.
No, I was almost dead. I was on a single heart.
Oh my
all right,
god.
votes up.
Oh my.
All I know is we're safe from creepers where we
Get
are.
ready, person, because we're gonna talk about the articles right after this.
Sure thing, man. Hell yeah. I'm
All
ready.
right, I'm going to okay.
back.
I'm going to be very, very overbearing with this part because I don't want us to get sidetracked.
Go.
That's
for it.
fair. I think we covered most of the other topics, so this is literally
Oh,
like
yeah. Can you just
so-
give me a quick run through of the other things we talked
Would-
about?
If a single person tries to veer off topic, I'm going to force them into Mong's guillotine.
Mong has a
You try.
guillotine?
Going to
Yeah.
the mega gay zone.
Mong, direct me to your guillotine. I will boat us there.
But yeah, perhaps basically, we voted upon banning theft across the UN. So
That
that
seems
is
pretty reasonable.
that has been banned. Additionally, we've also we voted on moving the UN building to the Aether. That vote was denied.
Okay.
And lastly, we just voted on whether or not to make a text channel for UN inquiries, which just passed.
All right. Awesome.
It was ratified.
So is there something else we're doing, or is this
think
already
there
on
is.
the
Articles of
articles now?
wartime. Get ready, everybody.
Articles of
All right,
Articles
this one's gonna be quite a long haul. So there is hang on, I'm gonna log out of Minecraft for this for better focus.
If you were
one
not
moment.
prepared, I would recommend leaving now.
Yeah. So hang on, I am going to disconnect because this is not something I'll be able to multitask on. Hang on, give my second computer a sec. Minecraft not being open. Okay. So what's going to happen here is that I've created these articles as a starting point. I've kind of outlined a system that I think would be most fun for carrying out conflict amongst our factions. But nothing. We are not doing a singular vote across for the entire articles all at once. We're going to go bit by bit and kind of discuss any changes we want to make before we go into the full vote. So we're gonna like disassemble this document piece by piece, make sure we cover everything, because I want our, conflict is conflict, but it's Minecraft, so it should still be fun. Additionally, I'd like to address the additional document I made, the Augment SMP Articles of War, but it's not written like a legal document. That is.
It's the shortened down version of the document.
It's the shortened down version that's not in like official language. This won't have much purpose now. That's more to distribute to the people after this is instated, so they can get an understanding of what's going on. I'm still absolutely keeping the original articles to cover the more, because we're going to need to cover the nitty-gritty details on this stuff. So I would recommend. Hang on, where the Scrubby? I think Scrubby pinned it at some point.
I'm gonna put it in the link in UN meetings. If that's,
you have it on hand. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the non-bookworm version of it, if you will. If you're not very adept at reading, then this is pretty good. Just follow along as we cover.
And then I will also drop in the link for the original one for those who are willing to tolerate all the intimacies. And of course, I'll be talking about this as we go over it, so it'll be additionally comprehensible.
Right. Where's this being linked again?
VC text.
Yep. So there's the original articles as well as the.
The first one is the smaller version. The second one is the full. Pornographic list.
You're wearing your fucking thermal armor or some shit.
All right. Before we start
Now
discussing individual pieces of this and the details, I want to introduce the overall. I'm introducing the overall concept to everyone here. So the biggest fear of having conflict on the SMP, no one.
Go on here.
The fuck did you just say to me? Sorry. The biggest concern is that we don't want people to get wiped the fuck out. If someone charges directly for your base and steals all your shit, no one's gonna want to play after.
Somebody's stolen my steel.
What?
Somebody took my steel while we've been talking about theft.
What the fuck?
I'm missing about 15 steel.
I mean, okay, that's not that much.
16 actually, but
It's
I'm the only one streaming this.
That's
I think
actually
so.
a lot. That is
Does
the
someone
more.
want to fucking die?
Somebody.
Sounds like you need to scale up your operations, my friend.
I think someone wants
My
to die.
operations are literally huge.
I mean, if you, I can get you more steel if you want, but like,
Listen, I'm just saying, if I
Not
lost
sending
16 steel, like that'd just be a minor inconvenience.
yeah.
16 steel is less than it would take for a single piece of rail.
Let's just get on with the articles.
That is how much 16 steel.
Oh, okay. I guess it. All right. In the context of railing, that makes sense. Shut
I
up.
need a lot of it,
Tiger, you
so
got
it is
food?
expensive.
Anyways, that was absolutely a side track.
I'm leaving.
Alright, let's.
Actually, getting on topic here. So, introducing the general concept of this: getting your base blown up, losing all your shit. That's not going to be fun. So, the crux of this entire of the articles is that there are going to be different types of war. So people can fight each other in ways that don't put their base and the majority of their resources in jeopardy. And then there will also be people will be encouraged to make additional structures besides their base.
Oh.
And the additional structures will provide locations to be attacked that, again, don't attacking these alternate locations will avoid putting your central base in jeopardy. And as well as shit, there was another point I was going to make and I lost it. yeah, the point is there will be alternate locations to attack that won't put all your shit at risk. And, oh, I just remembered the other part is that it'll make the our territorial claims on the more in depth instead of just like saying you own something and that's that. You will then be able to back that up by creating structures in order to kind of enforce that claim. So, does everyone have one of the two of the article open? Let's start off with that.
Yes.
You will want to be looking at this. If you don't already have one of these two open, do that now.
The fuck?
I'm making a
sword
little
is
text
that?
file saying
Ninja
reading
dagger.
war stuff
Fuck for
because
class.
I don't have
Put it
gameplay
on
up
my hand.
anymore.
No.
All right.
I apologize to anyone streaming this
Fun.
because this is gonna be long and gritty. So
Mhm. I know.
Okay,
Hey
so,
man,
uh,
exactly entertaining.
this is.
I got that. Legit.
So where do
I
we
mean,
wanna
that's
start?
just kind of what you're in for when you stream a UN
This
meeting.
is
You know,
bureaucracy.
it's
This is
it's
the UN
bureaucracy.
meeting.
When you decide to stream a UN meeting, like this is bureaucracy. You know.
You should have came to the UN trial last week.
now that was something.
Oh, let's start it off then.
So yeah, let's start it off. Article 1, types of locations, or hey, I'm gonna rename that on the original article because not all locations are going to necessarily be structures. It's just a little bit of semantics I'm changing. So types of locations. First off, the official establishment of a base. Your base is your headquarters. Everyone has their fucking home or whatever where they're doing all their stuff at. That's a base. The specifics of this is that you can only have one of these, central locations. An important aspect of this is that while you are fighting in wars, you will only allowed to have spawn points at your base. Because let me tell you, once we're actually getting to the nitty gritty of fighting each other, things are not going to be fun if people just fucking set up beds outside of wherever they're attacking. We want the land distance to matter, and that's why spawn points will be restricted to your base during wars. Now, something I have in here in the original documents that's kind of up for debate. I put in here, under no circumstances may explosives be used on a base. I think that's a pretty. That's something that's kind of
with an official base. I think that's fine because we don't want
on fortifications.
on fortifications.
course.
It's fine, but on like this base, if somebody took TNT to it, I would literally not talk to them ever again.
All right, all right, that's fair enough. I will leave that in there. And then the other thing is that you will be allowed to change the location of your base, but don't be a dick about it. Only have your base where you are centrally operating out of. It's very unlikely that you'd actually change that, but if for whatever reason you make a cool ass new building and you're moving all your stuff there, then you can change wherever your base is. And of course this will be again, there will be a public map of the entire world released, and that will have majority of the server locations as public information. So your base's coords will be known to everyone. I don't think I have that listed in here, but that doesn't need to be because that's kind of part of the map stuff.
Yeah, that goes into the map plan that we have. So
Right, I'm not.
If you have a base, it's not going to be secret.
Just
letting you
one
guys know
second.
that.
I'm grabbing a water.
All right.
Well, so much for trying to hide.
During this, well, why would
already
you
know
want to
where
hide?
you
You're
are,
just gonna
brother.
avoid having conflicts, and then it's gonna decrease your fun. The conflicts
Well,
are
if
the
you want to
fun.
avoid having conflicts, you can always opt out of the UN and disband your faction.
I mean, I suppose
and
if
then
you
give
wanted
everything,
to,
and also the second part of that is giving everything you own to me, and then joining my faction. I need more
I
people.
mean, I suppose if you wanted to keep your base secret, you just don't say, hey, this is my base, and you don't give the coords.
I don't have
However,
a base.
however,
Then you'd be a
it means
jackass, and we wouldn't
no. However, that means that it doesn't get the protections of a base. I personally think this is fair, as it means that you get to have your thing hidden. But if someone does grief it, then
not
it's
the
too
UN's
bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too bad
Yes,
for you. It doesn't
and
get UN protection.
I don't remember if the UN voted on the map or not, or if it was a server thing. One of the two.
They
they
voted on the map. They did.
Yeah, we voted on the map.
Okay.
Oh wait, there was a vote on the map. Hang on, what was that for?
It was.
Hang on.
It was.
Not right now. Not right now. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it was
we're,
just to
we're
confirm
stick
it.
on the articles. We gotta get through.
Also-
this.
also,
the
right-
map,
right before,
the map as geography will be a part of tactics, I will be covering the map as kind of as an add-on of the articles. But so go ahead, Monk.
I'm about to just fucking go, so I will leave all of my representative shit to person.
All right, farewell, my
absence.
friend.
Have a good one.
Farewell.
All right. So sorry that first section I got a little rambly. I probably will be rambly for like this entire thing, but I'll do my best to kind of at least summarize everything at the end. So the main point: every faction will have one base. It's your central location, and an important portion I forgot to mention: it's going to be very hard to attack a base. Even in addition to all the explosive protections and stuff, the attacking of a central base will be a very rare and extreme occurrence, and your base will be offered additional protections accordingly.
You guys should not mob grieving too. There's no point. Yeah, I agree with Peters and Bush.
Wait, you did?
Yeah,
No.
turn it's off.
Oh, it's.
What do we do?
Yeah, it's been off for a while.
Why is
Yeah,
it, why has it been off?
I don't know.
It's an
Somebody said
important
that
part
off.
of Minecraft.
I don't.
Wait, what happened?
I mean, I'm fine with it off.
Yeah.
So I'm fine
It
with it
means
off.
that we can't use withers in warfare. That's what it means.
That's
I mean, you still can.
You still can. It just
No, it
won't.
means that I can't use it to destroy structures. I can't use it to
No.
blow up obsidian walls.
well,
know where you live.
We'll get to that.
I feel like with obsidian walls, you could just, build over them.
So,
Anyway,
let's
Walls
get
aren't
back to
very
it. Let's get
effective
back
so
to
in
just to be
Minecraft.
clear, like
So-
mob damage is off or whatever.
Wait,
So I
it
have a-
is?
Because my jutsu,
No, mobs hurt you.
my jutsu works.
Well, I know they
But
hurt.
mob
I'm just
part
saying,
of
like,
it
do they
isn't
hurt the
broken.
terrain?
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
getting
used
sidetracked.
to-
Yeah,
Let's
please.
just vote on
Yeah,
what
we're getting
the-
It's true, we are getting
Yeah.
sidetracked.
We'll
Back-
discuss
let's
this
back
after,
on-
after we
We'll get
finish
back to it
Article
later.
one.
We'll get
Now,
back to it
now I'm
later.
actually gonna be like hard on
After
this
we
now.
finish Article 1, we can
Alright.
discuss all of your questions and
The
inquiries.
next main type of structure is a fort. The fort is kind of like the central portion of these articles. Your forts, excuse me, your forts will be the main structure that kind of reaffirms your territory. If two factions are kind of conflicting over a territory, and one has a fort nearby and the other doesn't, whoever has the fort is going to seem more legitimate, So, so the main point is that forts don't really have any, directly listed benefits to them, but they have the tactical implications that aren't strictly listed as a part of this. So now you can have multiple forts, as many as you want to really. Just like I would say, this isn't a part of the art, but like don't put them too close to each other. Don't be a dickhead. Don't make like a wall of consecutive forts.
I gotta go. I gotta go now. I got just something.
Damn, shit happens.
Sorry. Should literally.
God
happen.
damn. Oh well.
Continue.
Do you want to speed it up, or are we good? Are we
Let's
gonna
just
do, like, an
continue
article
it
today?
normally.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
We have
should have
enough
kind of
people.
prepared for how I was gonna. So just kind of roll out and then fucking.
Oh well.
So, yeah, forts will be the main determining factor of territorial claims. Your fort has to be a building of some sort. All right, you can't just claim a dirt hut as a fort. It has to be formidable to some extent. It doesn't have to be like a huge castle. Like you can have like towers as a fort, but there has to be a decent building. And what is defined as decent will be kind of subjective. Will be determined by the UN when it is debatable. So yeah, whenever you create a fort, its location will also be publicly provided and put onto the map. Additionally, each fort declaration, you'll have to provide a screenshot with that, just to prove you're not setting up a dirt fort, a dirt hut as a fort. And this will. Sorry, I'm really stumbling right now because forts. Again, I will discuss forts a lot more within the other sections of this as we get to the details of war and territory and battle. The next kind of location is an industrial zone. Now, this is sorry. Industrial zones are just to mark important things that aren't buildings. Like if you have a little oil collection platform, just have a quarry out in the open, it'd be pretty shitty if people were just able to go out and grab it. But it shouldn't, if it's just a little resource collector out in the open, it shouldn't have the strategic prowess of a fort. So that's what an industrial zone is. Industrial zones will receive the same protections as forts in terms of people attacking them. But yeah, they do not hold any strategic presence. The ownership of an industrial zone will be determined by the territory and the forts around it. Industrial zones cannot be used to determine territory. That's the main thing. And then civilian structures are the last one, and civilian structures are their own kind of unique thing. That's just for when you have locations that just don't really have to do with the main goings-on of your faction. Civilian locations are meant to be public, so things like shops, or like if you have a sculpture, anything like that. Things that are kind of open to the public. These civilian places that kind of aren't these civilian places that aren't related to your faction's political or military. They get declared and they cannot be attacked by other people. However, in exchange, if it's discovered you are using these civilian locations for your military operations, say stockpiling weapons or whatever, you're going to be in very big trouble. So yeah, that's just a little special designation. Won't be too often if you kind of have a public space.
All right.
How's this so far? Again, because this is
I'm all in onto this.
Yeah, we won't be able to start getting into the
you're-
smaller bits until I can really fully explain the overall picture of this.
All this seems like all this makes perfect sense.
Awesome. So as I was kind of partially discussing, the second arc, there is no strict methods of declaring territory other than like the grief protection of the structures themselves and the ownership of that. There is no set limit to like how far a fort can enforce a claim. It's just, that will be determined by how much people are willing to accept what you're saying for your territory. So that's the importance of forts. It'll back up your claims, prove the legitimacy that you own the land. And then when it comes to largely territorial disputes decided through war. But if neither faction wants to engage in war, then we can hold a UN vote to collectively decide the outcome of territorial disputes. But the primary method of sorting that out will be beating each other to shit.
I'm cool with that.
And
To use technical terms.
Yes.
so
In
that goes. That
Yeah.
is the article. That's the shtick of Article 1, essentially.
Yep, and that's kind of the main point, is that there is no strict limit to like the territory you're allowed to claim, whatever. That just makes things a lot more dynamic and interesting. So now, let's discuss war itself. So I have written here that people are not allowed to with each other outside of war. That is something that absolutely needs to be discussed in further detail as per Tiger Planet's bounty hunting business. So that is something that will be up to debate and one of our large points of discussion once I've kind of gone over all of this. So, no matter what type of war we do, there will be a period of time before attacks can be declared. I believe I dropped some arbitrary number in the abridged document that I shouldn't have done that.
That's subject to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, I did put that in here. Yeah, that there's going to be some period of time between you declaring war and you being allowed to attack places, and then of course, I forget. Was this an official server rule or something that was passed by the UN or something that we discussed? The policy of doing a 15-minute warning before you attack any locations that was discussed.
I think we voted on that. I think that was like day one.
Well, there's fucking nothing about it.
I don't think we. I think it was just like a general thing that everybody agreed on, but rather.
All right. Well,
than a
if
UN vote.
we all
I don't
already
think we can.
now it's an official part of the
yeah. So
now
we
it's
don't have to
official
vote
part of the
on that.
documents that whenever you want to attack someone, First of all, someone has to be online. That is just a server rule, regardless of the UN. You can't mess with people's shit when they're not online. But second
I
of
think
all,
that's a good idea.
even once they're online, you have to say, hey, I'm going to be... my mic cut out. You have to say, hey, I'm going to be attacking you. Better get ready, motherfucker. And then wait 15 minutes before you actually do anything to them. Now, how much the defenders are actually ready to do or not is irrelevant. They don't have to consent to you they don't have to consent to you attacking.
Yeah, the moment war is declared, it's mano a
15
mano.
minutes.
Yeah.
If you can't defend a territory, then
Yep,
it's not
it's your
yours
problem.
anymore.
But you just have to declare your attacks and then give 15 minutes before commencing the attack, just so people can actually have time to get to the location to defend it.
Okay, so I suppose that gives us time to discuss Article 1. Does anyone have any questions about it?
Yeah, I do.
Right.
So when you were discussing industrial zones, you were mentioning that industrial zones will not be used to determine territory.
Yes.
I am 100% against that. Like, I feel like you are imagining these industrial zones as like kind of tiny, small places, but I mean, we were just out at one of mine at Rhodes, and already that one's not small, and that's my secondary industrial platform.
Well, hang on. Well, it has roads. Do you have like any building?
No, it's Rhodes, like the Isle of Rhodes, Colossus of Rhodes.
Oh.
Yes.
My Discord cut out.
Okay, but you have an entire. All right, that's something.
Yeah, and that's just Rhodes. I also have another one to the west that is even larger. And so I think these industrial zones are going to be at a scale where they should determine territory.
Okay, that's fair enough. I was definitely imagining for this matter.
At that point, maybe we just count them as forts.
Not as I had something to bring up in that
No.
regard. With industrial zones, I don't think they should be allowed to be destroyed, but they can be occupied by either invading
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
this is the whole point, to kind of give it an attack protection, but it can still be attacked. It's just attacks on industrial zones will be more like raids, where you want to get in there, take the resources, and get out. They're not really somewhere that's officially held.
But you kind of can't.
My thought for that is that if you have an industrial that large, you'll probably want a fort to enforce that.
You kind of can't have people just kind of like, you can't steal oil easily. You're gonna need like hundreds of buckets, and that would be
Not
painful.
really. It's there are a couple different ways where you can steal massive amounts of oil.
In that case,
Easily.
Should that area be under occupation rather than someone just running in, stealing the oil, and then running away?
I think I would prefer occupation way more.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
occupation of the industrial area will be based on the occupation of forts and territorial
And
claims.
I feel like they shouldn't have to be so united. I feel like
if
industrial zones can and should be able to stand on their own.
Yeah, like let's say someone is invading your territory and you have a fort nearby. They can invade your, or rather, they can occupy your oil fields to cut off your resources. Could they be able to do that while a fort is standing, let's say a couple hundred blocks away, or would they have to attack that fort first?
I'm not sure. It's a very valid point.
Because if that's the case, then
Think about
I think industrial zones and forts can be attacked separately, rather than having to attack the fort and then the industrial zone is claimed as yours.
Well, that is well, what I was saying is that you can attack industrial zones without attacking the forts, but you can't occupy them without attacking the forts. That's what I've been saying. I don't know. That's something that is definitely up for change based on this discussion. I'm just establishing what I've been imagining originally.
Okay.
So what do you think of that? I'm trying to...
I think
under
industrial
the,
zones.
Go ahead. First.
You were first. You go first.
I'm under the opinion that that industrial zone can be occupied without the involvement of forts. And if you have a fort there, then you can just use that as like a sort of forward operating base to send funnel troops into reclaiming that industrial zone,
Hmm.
rather than
Well,
that
the effectivity of funneling troops. In order for that to really apply, we'd have to check about how spawn points work.
Not really. We can just if we can get if factions can get to the point where they can build railroads incredibly quickly, then they can build offensive railroads. Kind of I'm thinking like the Civil War kind of thing.
Oh, okay, sure. That's a
Like-
fair point. That's a fair point.
Like in that case, what stops a faction from just building a shit ton of forts in an area,
Yeah.
and
Well,
the
nothing-
invading force has to attack each and every fort
Well,
just to
nothing is
claim?
physically stopping them from that. Well, what's stopping them from that? You have to make a full structure in order for it to be declared a fort. And
Yeah,
additionally,
but what is
there's-
determined as a full structure?
Yeah,
right?
that's the second point. But
Like,
we should
you-
get to
you-
that after this.
yeah, that's subjective. That's just something like when people post a screenshot of their fort. If there are enough people that are like raising their eyebrow, then we hold a vote to discuss that or something. I didn't think about that too.
I
too in
feel
depth.
as though we should have like an actual like determining factor for what we consider a fort and what we don't. Because I'm in agreement. Yeah, a dirt hut should.
So what's stopping someone
Yes.
from like looking at something that most people would be like, "Yeah, it's okay," but someone goes, "I don't know."
Well, the thing we have to consider here is that we're not dickheads, and that this is the people
we,
here
though?
are chill.
With the
I like to think that.
if there are like militaristic tensions between
I'm kind
two
of a dick, not
factions,
gonna lie.
like someone from that faction might just be like, no, that's not a fort.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we should have
feel
some
like
sort of like actual determining factor
is-
for what we
Yeah.
consider a fort.
However, what that determining factor is something that difficult to
Yeah,
quantify for
definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, I do think industrial zones should be allowed to can be occupied with or without a fort.
Okay.
As for them, like
Actually,
projecting. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry. I'm just trying to. I'm sorting out all the fucking. This is a lot of information to be simultaneously holding in my small brain at the same.
Haha, small brain.
Anyways, okay. So here's the conclusion I'm taking away from this. We allow people to occupy industrial zones, but we don't allow industrial zones to determine territory.
No. Industrial
I,
zones should determine territory.
Okay, so then what's the difference? Then how do you differentiate from an industrial zone and a fort? Like, at that point, there's not much difference between the two. And again, the point of a fort is that there should be some sort of structure.
A fort is a
people are able to
military
attack.
installation. A fort is explicitly a military installation. An industrial zone is an industrial installation. That's how they differ, right?
But in
So
function,
if
they
we want
have
to,
this-
if we want to determine how they differ, we have to determine how we differentiate between industrial
should-
and military.
I should specify how do they differ in function.
In function,
If
so
I'm
what is the
being-
function of a the function of industrial zone? What is industry? What is industry? What is the focus of
Industry
industry?
is gathering resources,
Alright.
and the main point of a fort is militaristic
he
occupation.
makes a good point.
Is
like,
that you are giving
It's-
military power to industrial locations by allowing them
okay.
to determine territory.
by what Fridge said and by what we're gathering here. Let's say someone has an industrial zone and it is producing munitions. Is that a
Yeah,
fort or is that
that's-
an industrial zone?
That's an industrial zone.
There
I
it
would
is.
like to bring up the thing that this is Minecraft. There's not much difference between military and industrial stuff. Anything that can be used for anything in this in this mod pack can be weaponized. And
Here's what I'm thinking. I am in agreement that I don't think rather industrial zones should project territory claims, but
Why
but
not?
rather they can only be built in core territory.
Because then
I'm
industrial zones have the same power as a, which I don't want to do.
What about
I want
industrial-
what about industrial zones of a certain size can determine territory?
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
could,
'cause
I
the
could-
That's
whole
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we should consider industrial zones of a certain size to be forts.
like
We should
let's
almost
say,
we should almost do away with the designation
Well,
industrial zone
okay.
altogether.
Let's just-
No,
well, if we're
because
talking
my two
RTS
industrial
terms-
zones are expansive, but they're nothing like a fort. They are not at all like a fort.
I should Can I please discuss something? I think we might have the gun a little because a large part the system I had prepared. I'll discuss this in more detail later. The system I had prepared for battle in terms of kind of like absolutely determining a victory or a loss is that forts will have a flag in them, and in order to claim a territory, you'll have to swap out whoever's defending it. You'll have to break their flag and place your own in. And so that my problem with large, expansive locations having significant tactical holdings is that my vision for this and my vision for how battles will work within forts is that forts are meant to be like a concentration of battle. Is that forts are meant to be a place for people to kind of concentrate all their efforts into. So like people can be battling the same location, and by having large groups, it'll be more entertaining.
Okay, so forts have to be concentrated, is what you're saying. That's what you define as a military fort.
Yes,
Is that it has to be somewhat concentrated.
And the whole
That's perfectly
crux,
fine.
the whole difference in definition between the industrial zone and the is that a fort is a building, specifically some kind of building, and then an industrial zone is just something in the open that's gathering resources.
Well, okay, so if we want to define industrial zones as forts, then these expansive industrial zones will then be the exact opposite of what you want with a fort.
Yes. And then so like my point is, how do you when you have such a large zone like that?
With an industrial zone, it's literally like, do you control it? Do you own it?
You cut me off. What determines that?
In that case, we could like we were discussing how with land claims and whatnot, forts back that claim. Perhaps with industrial zones, we can have the UN determine whether or not that that is a valid claim. Because let's say you have an oil rig out in the ocean that is in someone else's maritime zone. We could have the UN discuss whether or not that is your territory or the other person's territory, rather than that just automatically projecting a set form of like territory around it.
Another important point of distinction, I think I forgot to explicitly say, is that the main purpose of forts is that when it's buildings and when it's a concentrated area, I'd say like having an oil rig out, that could be simultaneously that could be your resource collecting fort, because an oil rig is a building. It's just when you have like a quarry and that's out in the open and there's not really structure to that. Because my problem is when you have a large and entire like industrial island that you can claim that is an occupiable area, how do you determine who is occupying what definitively? That is easier to do when you kind of concentrate efforts into buildings, the forts. But then how are we going to specifically determine the ownership and the claiming and the occupation of industrial zone?
I mean, I'm still.
It's as simple as this. It's as simple as if you can hold it, it's yours.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
that's perfectly
yeah,
fine for industrial zones.
But like the thing is, they're so large though. Like,
I mean, at that point, then you can just declare it a fort, because I think we're really like tunneling on what we think a fort is, because in my mind, a fort is like a big old like castle or like a structure made of stone and brick that is supposed to like tower over everything.
yes.
But a fort could be just about anything. Like it could be just well, at least what we determine as the UN. If it's like a giant industrial complex, then you could just name that a fort.
Okay, so I'm kind of
So
I'm
so yeah,
taking-
so like yeah, whatever you want to call a fort, because like as long as like it's determined that that's a fort beforehand, then like yeah, go for it. Because like the thing is like it could, I think what we could do is have it be anything is an industrial zone until it's declared as a fort, and then it loses its protections as an industrial zone and can be attacked at at no
This does mean it can be. I
at no
Well, hang on. Well, industrial zones and forts have the same. As per the current articles, I mean, this is definitely the big change. So actually, no, never mind. I'm continuing to make assumptions based off of what I've decided. I'm sorry. Give me a moment.
What's it called? How do you guys feel about forts being like? Because we've made bases immune to explosives. How do you guys feel about forts being immune to explosives? Because
I feel like that is
I think
big
they should
no-no.
be.
They don't need to
Hang
be.
on.
No,
that
they
is
should
that
be-
is another thing that is discussed later. Starting battle is that what I have put in is that explosives are allowed to a limited extent, but the majority of the structure must be left standing. So you can like have a breaching one or two breaching charges to break through a wall, but you're not allowed to like blow up half the building or level it to the
Completely
ground.
level the fort to the
You're
ground.
not allowed to level places to the ground, but you can use explosives to a limited extent for breaching purposes. That's what I have listed in here.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I
'cause
personally
Do not
think
build
that
nukes.
we can't.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
I
any.
tried. I already
But
tried.
however, that won't be, again, if we're redefining what a fort is, explosives, there won't really be anything to blow up in an industrial zone.
I mean, let's say you have an oil tank, or rather, like oil reserves, and someone blows that up. I think that's quite a bit to blow up.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. We should hang on. I'm gonna add that in right
But
now,
I
that you're not
suppose
allowed
that
to.
is-
No, the way that I see
That
it is
is-
if you can't keep it protected, then you shouldn't have it. Because there are ways to mitigate and eliminate explosive damage in this mod pack.
And that is under your own
if-
discretion. If
Yeah. If you can't figure it out, then hopefully, then you better hope that nobody else figures out
Actually,
how to
no,
blow your
that's
stuff up.
that is something I've just realized as a. Yeah,
You could,
as that we could absolutely have an expansive industrial zone and declare it as a fort. But if you don't build any structures and defenses to back that, people will be able to take it easily.
Exactly.
So like this will be
that's
something
what I was
that.
saying. That's what I was.
on top
Right.
of that,
That's
this
what I was
whole
declaring.
this whole
Because, like,
topic
the-
of having physical defenses will be kind of self-enforcing.
on
I'm
top of
just
that,
realizing
let's
this.
say you
I'm just
declare,
realizing this.
let's say you declare like a huge oil field a fort. That means it's not immune to explosives. Someone
No,
could
yeah.
very
If somebody,
easily-
if somebody says, "Hey, I don't like the fact that you have this and I don't," they can just blow it up, or they can
Okay.
just steal it.
So
And that's how it should be.
where are we at right now is that so industrial. So what we're saying is that I'm just gonna. This is my current interpretation of wrong. So is that we're saying that industrial zones still exist. If you have outposts, they are immune to explosives and being blown up. But you can choose to declare to convert an industrial zone to a military fort in order to add that territorial enforcement to whatever zone you're doing stuff in.
I think that is a good idea.
I agree. How do you feel about this, French? Because I know you're.
I still
arguing
feel
with-
like industrial zones should count towards claimed territory.
Well, that's what we're saying. Is that if you have an industrial
This moves towards
zone,
that.
you then declare it as a.
Who developed the land? Like the
That's
industrial zone.
you know what, he does
That
make
is
a good
true.
point, because
That
if
is
you're
true.
if you're developing that area and like developing buildings and technologies in that area with an industrial zone, that should back your claim, as opposed to someone who just says, "Oh yeah, that's mine," and like versus nothing. An industrial zone should be considered a part of your territory and projects an area of territory. It shouldn't be as powerful as a fort.
Right. I think the thing with forts is like we also, as the UN, have to like if an industrial zone is there first and then somebody builds a fort, I still think that industrial zone should count more.
True, that is true.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm trying to think of how to reword this within the articles. Give me a moment. I think how to.
Do you want to do that right now, or should we move on to any other questions?
We can note
I think
down.
I think this is something we want to change because this is then going a lot of the other things I now here.
All right.
So,
how do you guys feel about the civilian zones?
I think civilian
Uh,
zones are fun.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
actually
I think it's fine
perfect.
right as it is.
because it allows you to just kind of build shit that you know
Yeah, if you just
won't
want to
get
build
hurt.
shit just because you can, it's perfect. It's fine as it is, you know.
Yeah.
And let's say how about transportation? Let's say someone has like an underground railroad, just for an example. Are you allowed to sabotage that, or is that immune?
I think,
I feel like
well,
I
one,
honestly
if it's a military-based railroad, obviously you should be able to sabotage
Yeah.
it. That's my opinion on it.
What if that is outside of the designated military zone, like the designated battle zone?
Well, I
You
think it should be
sabotage
more on. I think it should. Well, the thing. I think it should be more on an argument that this is being used to transport things or players for military purposes. And in that point, and then that point, if it
Oh wait,
requires a
shit, I gotta
discussion,
switch
then
my
so be
phone.
it.
One
That's part
sec.
of it.
Okay, yeah. I suppose that'll also go into the thing of what if you catch a combatant outside of the military zone? Should you be allowed to kill that guy, or is he?
if you're outside of the military zone that you are attacking, I don't think you should be able to attack them.
Like, what if they're
If the battle's already started and they run outside of it, I think you can chase them. But if they retreat to another base or area, you can't fuck with them.
What's the difference between retreating and running? Think about what you just said.
because let's say, I suppose that determines like what's going on.
No,
in the
I'm
battle.
saying if he runs from the battle, right? You can go after him. But if he retreats to a base, you can't fuck with him anymore.
Like,
Well, I think it should be. I think it should be. It shouldn't be. You can't fuck with him because he's retreated to base. It should be. You
No,
can't fuck with him
he
because
totally
he's in
should
the
be. No, because
No,
he's
no,
now no longer. He's
no.
now no
I'm
longer
saying it's
at the
because they
battle.
have the more
He
advantageous.
left the battle.
I'm saying it's because they have the more advantageous position, and by going forward, you're putting yourself at
Right,
risk.
but no, but you're outside of what you are attacking. And
because this is a very strange area, because let's say you're attacking a fort. What if one of the fort's occupants runs out of the battle zone and just runs back into the battle zone behind you guys? How are we gonna?
you can
deal with
you
that?
can chase out you can fuck with them up until they get to another place, another base, another industrial zone, another fort, whatever.
Mhm.
But once they are inside of that area, you can't fuck with them anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because then it's like if let's say they give up the fort and they run away to another base, then theoretically you could make the argument that, oh, we didn't. If you don't like change the flag, then you can then go to their base and fuck with them.
Yeah, we'll have to get to the flag portion then.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little iffy on that. 'Cause
Okay.
what if someone just
Yeah.
runs into your base and changes the flag?
Yeah, it just
So-
sneaks in back caps.
Well, you're not allowed to sneak because the attack.
Well, you should be allowed to sneak in.
Well, yeah, no. Let's say an attack is commenced. What stops someone from like popping an invis potion?
Yeah,
just running
yeah.
into your
Yeah, I
base
think-
before and then
Well,
changing
I
the flag.
Yes,
Yeah.
you should.
I think the flag, honestly, is completely
Yeah.
unrepresentative of who's
Yeah.
in charge. Because you can do that. You can have a bunch of people doing a diversion, one person in this pod replace the flag, or just not even have the diversion. And to the flag change, oh, it's ours now. All we did was sneak it. We didn't fight anything.
At that
It's-
What we could do,
The other
It's
thing
it's
is
not
that
a
the
true
flag
representation.
The flag has become pretty arbitrary, because something I've realized is that the way I was imagining this system when I first created it was something being based around pinpoint locations, and that the areas of importance would specifically be buildings, and all attacks be kind of honed in onto these individual specific build points. But this conversation with the stuff about like the large industrial zones and such
making me
Yeah, because
realize
I'm gonna
that
have some really large industrial zones.
from now on, and
I'll be
something
back
I'm going
shortly.
to. Okay, I'm going to rewrite the articles in accordance to this. Is that rather than defining our structures as locations, there is going to be a lot more emphasis on zones, and that a claim, and that when you're naming something you own, you specify the range that it is, the range that your operation is like. I'm having trouble wording this.
The range at which that building projects territory.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, what's
So
One thing I'm kind of thinking of is like that the way you'd be able is that like there's worries earlier about someone quote unquote like backcapping and taking and just replacing the flag. The one thing I think that could get around this would be if you were to have like location like if you were to have like several locations for flags and like it'd be like each flag marks like a smaller space, but then again, that's also a war zone, so like that's probably just gonna get destroyed a lot. So I don't know.
I mean, maybe what we
That's
could
like
do
right.
another thing to think of.
to like
The
mark an
other
official
thing I need
capture
to
of the
mention
fort.
with this that I want to keep the zones, but the main factor is that we need a way to determine when battles have begun and ended.
Yeah.
Because the thing
Well,
is, like,
determining when
hang
they've
on,
begun is
hang-
easy. No,
hang-
because
yes.
It's
we
the
don't need
end
to
of the
determine
fort.
when they begin.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, that's my bad. But determining when they end from once they've begun, because the
Do we
thing is, like,
is the end of
we-
is the end of it like when the flag has been changed and one side declares victory, or is the end of it when all the occupants of the fort have either been slaughtered or routed from that position?
yes, and we need a way to enforce, like, we need to make sure people can't, like, declare their attack on a place and then just not go there until 24 hours later when the defenders are off doing other things. I think the attack was canceled or whatever.
We could make it be like, if you haven't shown up after 30 minutes after after the declaration that you were attacking, that you have automatically forfeited if you don't show up.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good measure.
Also, now in that case, how are we gonna handle defeat? Like, what is
Yeah.
defeat in battle? Like,
For
is
an
that, like,
attacker
yeah,
or a
or
defender.
Yes, and the other thing, yes.
specifically
And
for the attacker?
so once
Yeah.
people do show up, let's say some guys go there and they get killed, is that the end of the battle there? Do they have a chance to reinforce? That's the next thing to
Yeah,
cover.
can the defenders counterattack?
What if
Can
we
the
start using
attackers
D20? Why don't we do that? Unironically, we can have people roll for reinforcement.
That would be funny, but I don't know how intuitive that would be.
No, I don't think that'd be intuitive at all.
It's
That
just like a
would,
massive shift in tone.
It'd be
That
like,
would, honestly,
all right, you
honestly,
choose your
that'd be-
own destiny. Now roll to have your destiny determined.
That'd be pretty funny. to
I'm guessing
have,
this is a
like,
D&D
some
thing.
kind of. That'd be funny to set up a tactics game in Minecraft like that, but it's then operated by dice. That's an interesting concept
That
for
would be
its own thing.
very
That won't mesh.
entertaining. But I'm with the impression that no, that's not going to be intuitive at all.
No.
That was mostly a joke.
But yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say, for example, let's say an attacker is attacking a fort. The attacker's forces get fucking wiped. Is that automatically their defeat, or do they have a chance to regroup?
What if we choose another minute thing? If you can't reinforce in a certain number of minutes, you're done. But at the same time, that could cause people to just trickle in, which would be an issue.
Like it's how do we gauge this? And like with defenders, let's say the defenders get fucking annihilated.
There should be like a time limit, like an hour time limit. Like an hour after you begin attacking, if you have not gotten the fort, you lose.
And what if the fort is contested? Say it's going back and forth.
If it's still going back and forth, then
Whoever's victorious after that point, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean whoever holds it for like
Whoever's
another
still
hour,
standing.
probably, like whoever
That's
hold.
fair enough for
Yeah,
forts,
yeah,
but
that's
then the other. Sorry.
Cause like the
Cameron,
timer
go
would
ahead.
reset at each time someone reclaims a fort, and then like, yeah, go for it.
The other thing I want to bring up is that that's fair enough for the occupation of a single point, of a single building. But how is this then going to work in industrial zone, in large zones?
I feel
where
like we don't need
defenders-
rules for rules like this for an industrial zone.
Well, but then how do we determine occupation?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you could have, like, if it's large enough, you could have defenders at one end
Maybe
of the
we could
zone
we could have a
holding that,
certain
and then
we
occupants
could
be at
have
the
a
other end.
certain percentage of the original attacking force and have that be the amount of reinforcements you're allowed to have.
I don't know about that.
Why not?
Because we want to make this as intuitive as possible.
I mean,
there are, quite a few people here who are
We don't want a number game.
that aren't in this VC. So
percentages aren't like if you or we could even not even use the word percentages. We can be like, all right, 2 or 3 times your attacking force, that's how many reinforcements you have.
Yeah. We gotta try and make it as simple and
So it
intuitive
could
as
be
possible.
just that, and it's the same concept.
We have to make this presentable to everybody. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't want to badmouth them, but God knows fucking Jake isn't gonna get this if you put percentages and fractions into this. We just want to make this as simple as possible,
Yeah.
so that anyone can really get into it. But there's still a bit of complexity
Multiplication is not
to it.
that difficult. So just like, what do we want? I think twice the number, so you get basically 2 attempts to attack.
You get the
You're good.
then there has to be
The issue is
the reinforcements have to arrive within a certain period of time.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
Well, yeah, no, that brings up that point, because if it's super far away and you can't afford to attack it twice, then you've lost the battle.
Yep, and that'll something that'll make far away conquest more interesting.
I suppose we can do the same thing for occupations of territory. Let's say you have people on that territory. For industrial zones, do we want to do the same thing with forts, as to where we have to declare an attack on that industrial zone?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because then, like, that's how you, well, there definitely needs to be some sort of, excuse me, there has to be some sort of declaration. So, because it's Minecraft, so whatever players are present are then able to properly go to wherever they need to defend and defend it.
Mhm.
However, how is the declaration of a zone going to work? Like, when you have such a large area, like, do you just have to? Well, no. I guess if you have such a large area like that, it's on you to be able to
Defend that
simultaneously cover the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we're in agreement in that area then. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
And now, as for how do
then-
you conquer a fort?
Yeah. How do you determine conquering, or how do you determine it's stuff like that?
I think
I'm
there
not-
should be. I think that part should be taken through more of a diplomatic route of either both sides agree or they take it to the UN on whose is this now.
Okay.
Well, would they take it to the UN during that war?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
Probably
I'm
not.
I'm
Because
talking
if one
about
side
I'm
has
talking
proper
about in
control, it's
battle.
gonna
I'm
be-
talking about literally in battle.
Well, one side.
How do
well,
we determine when the attackers have?
Yes. How
when no one's left?
That's the well.
We
that's
just
the thing.
discussed counter-attacking and reinforcements.
Yes, because occupancy, like, once a battle is concluded, it'll be easy enough to resolve that diplomatically. But we need a specific way to determine when a battle. Got the specific numbers for, like, how long are they allowed to drag out that battle? How many attempts can be made?
We should
etc.
also have like a grace period between attacks. So you can't just go on a tear after killing everybody at one spot and causing them to lose all of their stuff, and then going on a tear through the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing.
Well,
What
isn't that where like base comes into play? Like the difference between forts and any other building you
What
have?
if someone wants to
Right.
attack multiple
No,
positions?
but then
Yeah, but if there's
people
no
will
if there's
lose
no
their
grace
equipment.
period and you've killed everybody, right? They've lost all their assumedly their best military equipment.
Yeah,
I mean, they could just put
their
soulbound on.
inventory. We're talking.
If you just put if you put soulbound on your armor and tool in weapons, sure you don't keep everything, but you do keep enough to where you aren't at a full disadvantage.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't know that was a
I
thing.
also, I personally, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have that would just be unfun for me.
Where do
Putting
Then don't die.
in this case.
So it's so I think there should be a grace period between attacks.
Maybe because that gets into what if someone is attacking multiple positions?
Well, I'd say
How do we deal with that?
If you're attacking multiple positions, I'd say you have to declare the multitude of attacks at the same time.
Yeah.
And
I'm
there
thinking...
also then needs to be additional rules for like.
How about one
members.
declaration of attack per, maybe once a day, maybe twice a day, whatever.
If I'm being
I don't
honest,
want to bottle the action of the server.
if I'm being honest, I don't feel comfortable representing my faction and getting, honestly, even passing these articles of war without one more representative than two scrubby.
So you are telling me you have just wasted the past hour of our time.
Dude.
Oh god.
You are here to represent your faction,
you
and you are going
said-
to stay here and represent your faction.
Said you could represent.
We're finishing this tonight, and you are the representative.
If anyone has problems with this,
We can bring it up at the next UN meeting.
Exactly. If your team, Caligula, if your team has problems with this, they should have been here.
No,
that should be your understanding.
This is true. Fair point. I just don't want to leave Scrubby entirely out of this.
No, fuck Scrubby. Leave Scrubby out of this.
This is not. Yeah. He's left out of this now, but he can absolutely.
Yeah, no, he
Scrubby could have been here.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe he couldn't have.
We can
been.
continue.
So as long
at
as
another point of time.
I'd like to just clarify that these aren't permanent. Exactly what we're setting into place.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
we can go through and change these at a later date.
And changes.
We're still discussing the details. We'll have.
Okay. I probably should have been far more tactful than I was.
We are ratifying this tonight, though. I don't care who else leaves. We are ratifying this tonight.
Yeah.
We have exactly enough people right now, so let's hope that nobody leaves.
Okay.
Another
I won't
point.
leave.
Something I want to bring up quick before I forget it.
Oh no.
There is going to be a I don't know. The specific time period can change, but I'm thinking like a week-long grace period after this is ratified, before any wars can be declared, so people can properly set up their declarations of forts and zones and build the forts they want to, etc.
That'd be fun.
Again,
Or get flags.
We've been actively involved in this discussion, and we know what's going on. But the rest of the server doesn't. They need time.
They need time to
this
learn these
over
articles.
and make their preparation.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We could do it. We could set it for.
I think a week is good. But...
Yeah, we could start. We could have wars open up on Wednesday at midnight EST.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That would be basically exactly a week.
A little bit after a week that the dragon is opened up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
something.
That's just kind of a coincidence.
Okay.
I think it's fair.
All right.
What's it called? With that being said, does anyone have any more questions regarding Article 1?
Well, Hank.
Article 1? Are we still on Article?
Yes, we're still on Article 1.
I thought we were on Article 3.
Oh, God.
I thought we were
I thought
about
we
to get
went
into
through
Article
2,
3.
This is all kind of.
We definitely did go through 2.
Hang on. Our discussions have all kind of meshed together because the types of locations then matter for how battles function. So I've separated this out into different articles for the sake of organization, but all the functions of all these pieces mesh together. So we've been discussing all the articles, focusing on locations.
Well, we've discussed Article 2 pretty in depth.
Yeah,
ready.
we
I
discussed
we're all in
Article 2. We're
agreement,
pretty
so
good
let's
on
just-
Article 1 as well, in terms of I'm going to specify that forts are individual buildings, and then industrial zones can be zones. They can be stretches of space, as long as you have infrastructure or something important within that space.
Do we want forts to be just a single continuous building?
No, I think couple like if a fort can include a handful of
What
buildings.
about here? Let me rephrase real quick before you waste your energy. Not waste your.
Yeah, I understand. I
If
understand.
we might be on the same wavelength, and I don't want you to like.
Mm.
But like contained within like a structure, like walls would be a container.
Yeah.
But like if there's a general shape to it
I mean, if that's the case, how do we differentiate?
that is clearly
how do we
fallen.
I mean, it
differentiate
just
a
needs-
military
it just needs
base
to
versus
be-
a military fort?
A base you can only have
Yeah,
one
yeah.
base.
The base
Yeah.
is your central location.
Okay.
It's one base. That's where
Yeah.
most of your stuff is.
Base is the easiest thing to define.
Yes. A fort. Again, there doesn't really like a fort. There just has to be some kind of structure there. If you have some big walls and then there's like nothing behind them, no, that's fine as long as the walls are there.
Yeah,
But then
I think that's perfectly
again,
fine.
it's self-enforcing because you then have to defend whatever you build.
You have to defend a dirt shack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, it's actually
We fight
using
die
that logic.
for this.
I mean, honestly,
We've earned
honestly, I
this
wouldn't mind
land.
making.
I don't mean to sidetrack here, but let's say someone surrenders. Are we gonna make it against UN law to kill that person?
Yes,
Oh, of
I think we
course.
should
There are rules
immediately.
Yeah, there are rules for surrendering in the articles. That's further.
Okay,
That's further
we
along.
should start getting
That's
through this.
further
Let's get to
So-
Article 3 then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hang on. First of all,
Oh,
'Cause
God,
I
there's
think
so
we're
much
all
here.
set on
I know
locations.
I went ham.
This is the short version too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm going to. I'll worry about the short version once we're all done with this. We have everything finalized. But I'm going to begin editing Article 1 on the main version. Forts are pretty good. Yeah, it's a structure. Are we keeping? So we're getting rid of the whole flag thing, right?
I think the flag thing is
don't-
silly.
Yeah, actually,
the
at
flag
this
thing is
point, yeah.
purely, like fairly
I was gonna
It's-
say. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
That was
like,
like-
Aesthetic?
That was just the my immediate
placeholder.
solution
Yeah.
to the determination of when battles begin or end. But we're gonna get into that in more detail, so I'll be removing that there. I'll be
What's up,
removing the
TJ?
flag.
I thought you were gonna say something.
I just said aesthetic trying to finish your sentence so you can think the word.
Thank you.
I was gonna say too. Like, I don't think my team has any flags,
is-
so
Yeah, I thought we like during the first meeting we were going to.
Yeah, we were
provide
supposed to give
flags.
out
Yeah.
Galacticraft flags, but I
Whatever.
don't know that we ever did that.
They're not hard to make, but I don't
Yeah.
think. But it shouldn't matter.
We didn't want to make them. We just wanted to give everybody
Yeah,
one.
I think we should just give.
Oh,
everybody some.
there are a few more points to bring up. I just remembered I have this
Okay.
written in the original articles for things I wanted to discuss. How is this going to work with dimensions? Do we want to allow these
Conquest and
fort? Do we want to allow
dimensions.
fort thing other dimensions?
I feel like forts shouldn't be allowed
Yes.
in dimensions.
Yes, I think any type of structure should be allowed in other dimensions.
I
I
feel
agree.
like only industrial zones and civilian zones obviously should be allowed in other dimensions.
Honestly,
Just
I do
because
think
if you
that's
have to
on the
attack,
focus.
you have to attack forts, right? Before you can attack a base.
I thought. Oh yeah, base.
You can't attack a base at all, I thought.
You
Well,
can
that
after
depends
you've
on the
attacked
kind
all the
of war.
forces.
That depends on the kind.
Yes,
of
there
war.
is.
Oh, that's-
And it also
is
does depend on
very-
the kind of war.
It depends on the kind of fort. It is very difficult to attack a base.
Yeah.
First of all, like it is specifically, if you want to attack a base, you have to have very, very good justification for declaring a total war, because like the UN's just not going to let you entirely dismantle a faction
Yeah,
just
'cause,
for that bit. And then
you gotta
once
have
you
good
have a
reasons.
total war, you have to go through all the factions all the factions forts, and I'm probably considering how industrial zones are not being framed. I will add that into there as well. You have to take all their forts and industrial zones. Well, maybe
I don't think you should have to take all of their industrial zones.
thought we
Okay.
were-
Yeah,
I
no.
agree with
Only
that.
industrial zones are only relevant if they declare them as forts.
I thought we
Yeah.
I thought we had discussed the war score. So maybe after a certain war score,
Yeah.
someone's base is open up for attack.
Or like a certain number of forts. That's something that we can. That's not really a pressing matter. I don't think anyone.
Yeah,
Immediate
well, let's get
gun-
through this and then maybe we can discuss war score because that
So
gets it.
forts and other defensions. Yes, no.
Ah,
I think yes.
I'm going to be a no.
I think.
I feel like
I mean, why
I just don't think it would be fun to
I think
have
that
to
would
go to
that would go into a
another
colonial
dimension.
dimension.
war.
Well, this is since this is pretty much. I don't think we're going to be able to launch
I
it our
have-
way through this. It's just kind of a matter of opinion. Let's drop a vote. Like, let's drop a
I
sub
can
vote
can
right
I
now.
point? Can I quickly drop 2 arguments about why we should have them?
I'll go for it.
Argument 1 is we have a lot of mods whose main purpose is to introduce new dimensions. So I feel like it would be underutilizing the pack if we were to not allow that. And the second biggest one is if you want to control if you want to control the territory and for better defense of your forts, you're going to want to be able to control which dimensions they're in.
I also also thinking about
How
the fact
about
that some wars could be launched over territory in some dimensions.
We were this gets into colonial wars. What if in certain wars you can only attack forts in the overworld,
Ooh.
and then in other
Actually-
places you can only attack
Yeah.
forts in like
Yeah.
Twilight Forest or.
I
I
like
think
the
that would be
idea-
fun.
Be
but-
interesting.
I think we should
That'd be
establish
part of the
Aether.
declaration.
I think we
Here's
can
what's
establish
come
the
to my
Aether
mind
as a
is
complete
that-
neutral zone.
Yeah.
That would
I
be an
agree.
interesting idea. I think
would-
that's a very interesting idea.
I would imagine like this whole
Hang on,
total war
my-
idea I see here would mostly be like literally everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Total War should definitely be everything.
Okay.
Be everything. So like
Yeah,
include
sure.
industrial zones, include forts. Not civilian
well,
zones.
do
Those are just gonna get conquered.
Obviously,
Quote in quotes.
Total war includes everything. Does that include you have to take over everything before going for the base? is the
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
Sure.
that should go back into war score because let's say you've taken almost everything. Should you take the fort that is like a couple hundred blocks away before you take the base?
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have much in the way of stuff. Like I think war score would be good, but like, what determines war score? Like, is it
It's
a flat number? Is it gonna be a percentage of
it's
like
like,
certain things?
what's it called? It's like a fort represents a certain amount of war score. That amount.
Right.
determined.
But like, is it gonna be a
Let me-
flat amount or is it gonna be a percentage of?
Yeah, it should be a percentage. Let me
Yeah.
toss this
Definitely a
out.
percentage.
Let me toss this out that in order to attack a base, you must take 3/4 of the location the faction owned at the beginning of the war.
3, 7. So you need like a 75% war score to
I think 80% war.
80% war score to attack the base.
And we can figure out a specific war score metric, but yeah, you have to own
Yeah.
80% of the things that they did at the start to go for the base. That sounds pretty good.
How do you guys feel about that?
I'm not against
All
it.
right.
Alright, so this sounds good. Let me add all of this in. Alright.
Don't
I'll
forget.
just kind of add in. Where should I? Well, one thing I want to specify: bases should be overworld exclusive. You should not have your main
Yeah.
area of operation other. All right,
Yeah,
so
I
let me.
agree
Yep.
with that.
All right, I'm gonna write this in.
It'd be funny if a
Only-
faction just fucked off to space and made their base there.
I mean, I would disagree with you guys, but I can't outvote you, and I can't convince you.
You can make an argument. I'd like to hear it, but if you don't think
Uh,
it'll work, then
But it's the exact same argument I made for forts. So it's nothing new.
Well, all right. So, all right. So bases must be in the overworld. Where should I specify?
Then we have to talk about. We've already talked. Like, it's good that we're talking through all of this kind of at once, because it means that once we do get to the next parts of the articles, it won't take as long to get through them.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
And
did we make an announcement about our end decision?
We will once we get to that.
Yeah, we haven't finished.
We're just discussing
Yeah,
everything.
we've only just begun, my
In that
friend.
case, how do we want to?
No, I mean our end decision about like the end dimension about opening it up. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna,
that's
yeah, we already
that's,
came out to that.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
tomorrow at 6 EST.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna
There is
do that.
there's one other point about forts that I had marked here. Do
Alright.
we should well, all right, do we have a restriction to how far out you can do forts?
I think so.
that
I think it
I
should.
think
I think it should be determined based on like partially like on your base, but also there should be like a hard world border, right? Because
yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
There
if
is
the
one,
world
isn't
border
there?
is at like 4,000, right? Like Cry's team is out at like 2,000, 3,000. But if we made it for individual like 2,000, you know, Cry could go out to 2,000
Well,
I
because
suppose
But
we
I'm
can leave that up to the
thinking- but I'm
discretion of the
think-
UN as well, because if someone puts a fort like all the way on the opposite side of the world, we can have the UN declare whether or not that is legally a fort.
well, here's the thing. If someone does that, they then have to defend them. And they have to make sure they can transport themselves to that location in a timely manner.
I mean, if it's just a village, all they need is a waystone.
Yeah, that is true.
Ah, damn. Alright, that's fair.
There are ways. There are plenty of ways to get over the map.
There should
Quickly
be
enough.
some kind of system to make sure your territory is not necessarily connected, but
Yeah,
Congruent.
in proximity.
because we shouldn't have to like. There's a lot of island factions, like Sealand, for example, is an island faction. We shouldn't.
Edland is kind of pushing it. We're barely that. Sorry, that was a joke.
No, it's fine. We shouldn't limit their capabilities of expansionism by where they can place their forts, but there should be like a baseline of how far someone can really put something.
So yeah, we want an overall world. I think just to be kind of generous with it, 6,000 in all directions.
From 0-0,
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Alright.
No, because even like Cry, like I don't think anybody's anywhere near out that far. So I think that's way too generous.
Alright,
My team
5,000?
is out that far.
Your team is why?
5,000 blocks.
That's 5,000 fucking blocks that I have to cover with rail.
Yeah, dude. I think
cover
I
it
don't
with
know
rail.
why your base is out that. Well, I know why your base is out that far.
Why do people do this?
Listen,
It
man,
I thought the whole
be
point
out.
was geopolitics, dude.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
shouldn't
settle
be out that
My
far.
faction did.
Fucking kill the rest of your faction.
But
Listen, I
tell
already
them
have a
to
plan to dispose
relocate.
Jake. I'm gonna declare myself the
So,
new leader of
what is
Finland.
the limit?
Let's go.
Awesome. We'll
Fuck.
put it at
Well,
5,000. Fuck Finland.
Gonna be honest, I thought we had like a legitimate hard world border program
Yeah,
to
we
to-
did. We did.
Yeah.
We do, but I want our.
It's at 8,000 though.
I want the.
Oh, that's pretty far, isn't it?
Yep.
I want the limitations of forts to
We're
be
supposed to
smaller
expand it.
than the. I want the limitations of forts to be smaller than the
Yeah.
actual border, just to keep things interesting.
We
I'm
also
gonna-
have
I'm
to
gonna mark
expand
it
the
as-
border.
How about this?
This isn't
Rather
related, but we do.
Rather than making it a certain distance from 0-0, we should make it a certain distance from that person's base.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause,
and
like-
it can be like
So then, if two bases
Oh, dickhead.
are on the opposite sides of the world, then they're
Well,
just
there's
not
always
allowed. That
transporting
shouldn't be a
troops
thing.
across terrain.
You can do that, but not. But then, if you have a limit as to how far factions can build forts out from their base, then there's a possibility that their area of the area they're allowed to enter just doesn't overlap, and I don't like that.
Well, that doesn't stop people from declaring war on each other.
Persona 5 music is good though.
I guess so, but
So you
like,
can't blame them.
I don't know.
I think I would rather have it be not necessarily. I feel like it should not be out of the base, but out of the territory. So like, have a really small distance, like relatively small distance, but it's from outside of your territory, so that if you if you want to expand, you have to like dot the world with forts.
Good point. Then how's that going to work in Dimension?
What? In Dimensions?
You don't have a base
in Dimensions.
Extend out
Well,
from.
I mean,
Do we want to burn that bridge when we get there?
I feel
One
like
thing-
Try to get this out of the way now.
I feel like we could just have a border in those dimensions. I don't think it's really needs to be all that complicated.
One thing
Okay,
I
so
was
one thing-
thinking. Okay, so one thing I want to just understand: why are we opposed to making it so you can only really like why are we so opposed to having like a certain area from 0-0 be the war zone?
Because I'm
like
saying we should do that.
because like
I don't-
anyone who settled way far away, they're doing that at their own discretion, and that means that they basically that they're trying to be as far away from this kind of conflict in the first place as possible to most
not our
to
goddamn
some
Well,
degree,
then
I
okay,
guess.
so you would prefer them if you went out way far away to get away from everyone, you would much prefer to
Yeah,
have the
yeah, no,
forts be
I'm
based on
realizing-
territory.
Yeah,
Because
no, I'm seeing the flaw with that as I said that out loud.
yeah. Yeah. I really dislike with a passion the idea of somebody just setting up a fort 4,000 blocks from anything they own.
Yeah.
Like
okay,
I
I need
fucking
it
am
to be
burning with
I
hate
want-
at
I
that
want to
idea.
I want to allow colonial expansion.
I wanted to
I
add,
feel like we should then define colonies as a separate item.
Oh boy.
Because that's what they were in the real world too.
Oh,
because
go ahead, Golden. Go ahead.
yeah, I was because when my team moved, we abandoned our old base, but we were like, oh, maybe we'll make it a fort. I think my territory claims are still there, so if that's a problem, need to consider how far away that is.
I don't want to complicate this further,
I mean, we're
I
already
feel
in
like
this.
the
So we might as well
colonies
Alright,
talk
I
about
mean,
arbitrary.
I don't know. I also feel like. All right. What
Although I
about
get-
what about
okay,
a
how
world
about-
border, but there's like you can't build it like 2,000 blocks away from any of your territory.
All right, yeah, that
A
sounds
world
good.
border, but you're only allowed to build within. Let's
Alright, so
say
let's
let's say
vote. Let's do- yeah,
a
let's do
1,000
both.
blocks of what you consider to be your territory.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Yep. So, all
So
right, we'll do
back-
both.
So relinquish
a
those claims,
border?
or just not claim it as a fort, or how's that work?
I feel like if you want to claim it as your territory, you can. And then it'll be up to the UN to determine if it is your territory or not. I'm be real with you. I would side with you since you guys built it, but
In that case, how are we going to determine colonial claims?
I'm just okay. So
colonial claims.
I'm fine with kind of like nixing the idea of having a colonial claim that's literally on the opposite side of the world, but I'm thinking that should just be like another form of fort. That if you build it super far away, it's just kind of considered a colony. But I don't want to complicate.
I think
this
that'd be
further.
I think that'd be fine.
As long as
Colonies
we- again-
colonies don't count towards don't count towards your war score. So if somebody that's attacking you attacks your colony and they take your colony, that counts towards them. But if your colony isn't attacked, then it doesn't count towards you, right? So like
What?
100% of your war score, right? So if an enemy got 100% war score, it's only your core territory that they took. They don't have to bother with colonies at all.
Okay.
Huh.
But if they
Oh.
do, they could potentially
I
get
suppose that
more
gets
war
into,
score out of them.
like the autonomy of your colony, but it's fucking Minecraft, so why are we?
I mean, I just don't want to have people have like a shit ton of bases way far out, and then have people
Alright,
be
well,
like,
here-
you have to take the bases way out there in order to get 100 war score, idiot.
Yeah,
Fool.
that's fair.
Okay.
I
Okay, here's what I'm saying. So I will also, in addition to the hard world order, what was the block limit you said from any given territory?
1,000.
Yep. So we'll just have that in place as well.
Anything past that is a colonial territory.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't want that to be a thing at all, because then that just complicates shit further.
I was also going to suggest the idea of outposts, but I'm not sure how that would even go.
I feel like those
yeah,
could go
man.
hand
I
in
think
hand with
that's-
colonies.
Yeah. Start off a colony, you need an
Another
outpost.
thing, another solution is that whenever establishing forts, the UN can very clearly decide if something is a fair place to put a fort. That way we don't have the freaking across the world problem.
Mhm.
Like the UN has to approve each individual fort kind of thing. Maybe that'd probably be like a very high demand thing, but like
Yeah.
depending on how often we meet and stuff.
I guess it depends on the situation, because if someone is building in their core territory, then all that person has to provide is like an image of the fort or whatever. Like however we're gonna distinguish whether or not it's a fort. But if it's like,
One thing, okay, actually, I thought of an idea that might be a better solution to that.
Okay.
So, a fort. So, forts have to be publicly declared, but then if anyone who's neutral in the war has an objection with where it's placed, then it goes up for debate. Otherwise, they're just kind of automatically approved.
I'm gonna be real, I just zoned out for like 2 minutes.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry, I just like, this just happens.
I'm just thinking.
Let
of
me
solutions
double
about-
check
I'm just
here.
thinking about a different solution. I don't know.
We have been
I
talking
think
about this for
outposts-
over 2 hours.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Yep.
well,
This is-
bored, you
this is
guys,
why we
before
wanna-
got into
this- This is why we should finish
Good
this
to
tonight.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? Why don't we should add colonies into the Articles of War later.
Well, that goes into the Article 3, because that's the type of war.
Oh shit. Well, we can get back to it. It's not a type of war in Article 3 on the
I'm
extended.
editing. First of all, I'm working on
It's not.
Article 1.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. never mind.
I think we're gonna have to. I think tonight we get a base version of this, but then we have another meeting to do these additions.
Yeah, I can just do another meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
kind of
think
no.
can.
I don't want to meet again tomorrow and
Okay.
talk for another 2 hours. Like these are fun, but
we wanna,
not that
talking
fun.
two
We
more
wanna
hours.
we
Now
wanna
that
space them
3
out.
I have to
like,
Yeah,
edit too,
Make
exactly.
it like a
so
weekly UN meeting.
Okay, so then we gotta get this done tonight then.
No, we don't have to get all of it done. We just have to get like the main
We have to get the
meat of it
core
right
done.
now.
Yeah.
So I think we should talk about colonial wars and colonies at the next UN meeting.
And then for now, none of we'll just kind of have rules against colonies
Yeah.
being used in wars, I guess.
Yeah.
I
They'll just
gotta
not be
rewrite-
considered actual territory.
Let's get back on track then.
Yeah. All right.
Right now, before we continue, I'm currently rewriting the entire industrial zone section of the
Wanna
original.
write notes. Write notes, bullet points for right now because we're 2 hours into this and
Yeah.
I don't want to stay here any longer.
Coward.
It's fucking
Yes, we are.
Minecraft. I
Yes,
don't
we
care.
are.
I don't want to spend 6 hours discussing Minecraft war. Excuse you?
Listen, man, I play Arma 3, okay?
I play Arma 3. I have literally 70 hours in Arma 3. I play it all the time with my friends. This is Minecraft. This is a different thing. Minecraft is not Arma 3. You don't get to shoot brown people in Minecraft.
I want personal.
You're not playing Arma 3 correctly.
Hey Twitch, don't ban me for that one, okay? Thanks.
You don't spend 2 hours pouring. If you don't spend 6 hours pouring over a map, like what kind of armor are you playing? Goddamn.
I'm playing the cool kind where me and my friends just rush into places and burn the motherfucker down.
Yeah, that's not. That's I don't know what kind. That's some. Different
Usually,
type of
I
shit.
am the one burning the motherfucker down,
Listen,
and all of my
Fridge, I
friends
just-
get mad at me.
Fridge, I just want you to
Unfortunate, that
realize
is not
this
the
real
kind of
quick.
arm I play.
Fridge, you have 70
We
hours
seem
of
very
armor.
off track now. I
How
just
many?
want to say that.
Yeah, a little bit. We need
Person has
to.
596 hours.
Why?
Can
What do
we,
you? Why?
Can
No,
we?
no, no. Let's discuss this later. Back
Can
on
we
track.
finish up?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to Article 3.
Let's get it done with.
Yeah, because if we sit here all night, I will be like, oh, hey, it's been 5 days. I still haven't done any editing
Yeah,
yet.
I
And we're
you know,
still
it's,
here.
I will say.
it's
Let's go,
almost.
let's go,
I'm-
let's go.
The
I'm
bottle's
not
full of
staying up
piss.
past 11 for this.
No, yeah, we gotta get through this. It's almost 11 p.m. EST.
Yeah, I'm not staying up past 11 for this.
Yeah, we've already been at this
So
for
bad.
2.5 hours. So
I'm trapped
Person?
in the
We're
VC
not-
as the
I
minimum
don't-
amount in a
it's
war
going
I'm
to be
probably
ready
not
to
even gonna
ratify.
start.
person,
Well, just be ready to ratify.
Go
move
ahead,
on to
person,
Article
just
3.
Discuss. Go on.
Okay, well, fine. I have
You-
Speedrun
you
it.
can-
Let's speedrun it.
I'm telling you, put bullet points. Bullet points.
Fine. I'll refine
Let's
it.
speedrun this for the first one.
It's. This is the rough draft, right?
Yes.
And we're just saying that
Well, if
we
it's a rough
agree with
draft,
all
why
this.
are we ratifying?
We're ratifying the rough draft so you can go back in later and do what you do best, apparently, person.
It's
Oh,
not
you mean
rules of
okay? You
collaboration.
mean
We
rough
can
draft is in
change
the
this
link.
later.
Sorry,
I've literally
Okay,
had
let's
my
get in,
stream.
let's get in.
How long has my stream been watching reading war stuff specifically on?
Please.
Okay, can we? Okay, let's-
I have other stuff to do.
You know what you're getting into.
Okay, person, just continue, please.
Let's get into this.
Okay. I'll keep fucking. Alright, fine. So, war. The main thing to discuss PvP between members of factions without a should we allow people to PvP without having a declaration of war? Because this brings into
Yes.
question stuff like Tiger Planets shit.
Yes,
Alright,
I think we
so we
should,
allow it,
simply
and then-
because it's an SMP. People are gonna
Yeah.
fight. It's gonna happen whether or not we permit it.
And then
Um,
it can be a cause of war. Okay, yeah.
Should,
let's
uh,
eliminate this time.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah, you
just
can. Of
eliminate
course. I mean,
entire
you can use
piece.
anything as justification. So we don't
I'm
even need to talk
eliminating
about
this
justification.
entire piece from the
Yeah.
third
Alright.
article regarding the restriction
What's up?
fee. Already
What's up,
discussed
TJ?
That's true.
Alright.
the
We should discuss the grace period for between declaration of war and between when you can.
Wow, my internet
Declare
is bad. I
attacks.
said that's true.
yes. How long should that be?
I think a day.
Yeah, a day of mobilization.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I
Any-
think
any-
one
anyone
day
an
is like
objection to that?
a pretty good amount. It gives you plenty of time to mobilize, but also it's not too long.
Okay, moving on.
Territory.
Alright, so territory war is over a specific area of land, and when the territory war is declared, you specify the span of land as well as the locations within there that you want to take, and then battles can only be held within said declared territory. Now, this does not in itself, because it's restricted to a territory the aggressor is declaring, it does not in itself allow a defending faction to push back into the opponent's territory, but however, the defenders could then declare their own territory war over their opponent's holdings or escalate it to a further type of war. So that's not.
No, I feel like that's too complex. I feel like if a territory war is declared, both factions should be able to take territory.
Well, that's the thing. A territory.
Automatically.
The point of the territory war is that it's a war over a specific area. That's why the culture war exists. If people are just if factions are going at each other wherever.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I suppose
agree.
like the actual what's the word I'm looking for? The cutting up of the territories and how we slice it. That goes into the what is defined in the peace treaties and oh god, I'm like losing my tongue right here. Basically, the effects or the aftermath of the war and what is established after that. Because
No,
let's
of
say you beat someone in a war, and in their surrender, you just decide, I'm going to take all of this. I think it should be up to the UN to decide what is essentially fair in that regard.
UN has final says on treatises.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, territory war is that it's only within a specific area, and the culture war is just when a faction wants to fight, and they don't care. They don't really. It's not very important what they're taking. They just want to take something, and they want to fight each other. That's what a culture war is, and that's when you can just kind of attack wherever and counterattack into and the defender can counterattack to the opponent and all that. That's the free form war, without the intention of base taking.
Yeah. So
Total
okay.
war thing, where we now have to implement this whole war score thing that we were talking about just a second ago. So I have to put this into words. Alright, so yeah, a faction can attack the other's base only if the attacking faction owns 80%. Where's the type in this? There it is. Of the location the defending faction held at the start of the war.
In that case, let's just think about this for a second. Let's say a territory is taken and you have structures on that territory. Whoever owns that territory now owns those structures, correct?
Yes.
Well, no, well, most structures will be all structures are territory holding, except for like maybe civilian places. But that's excluded.
How are
from
we
this
gonna
whole-
handle civilian zones? Let's say you lose the war and someone takes that chunk of territory which contains a civilian zone, an industrial zone, and a fort. That all belongs to them now, yes?
Civilian
if
zone.
you-
Civilian zone becomes a United Nations
Well, hang on.
protected site,
Saying-
a UNESCO site.
Are you saying if someone loses a total war,
No,
specifically?
just a territory war.
Oh yeah, if someone loses a territory war, then it's gonna be like
Yeah.
that'll assumingly be part of. Well, this is gonna play into how surrender works. So there are two ways a war can end. Both all the parties in the parties involved in the war can step aside and kind of discuss their own diplomatic term as to what they want to end. People make concessions or whatever. As long as all involved factions agree on whatever terms they've come up with, the war can end that way. However, if surrendering is allowed, so a war will either end with a negotiated peace or a surrender. When someone surrenders, then the war is stopped immediately. The factions cannot attack each other anymore. However, in order for this to not be abused, whenever a surrender is declared, there will be a UN meeting to discuss the aftermath. If someone declares surrender too early, then the UN decide what the defender is going to hand over to the attacker.
Well, I think that
What the
also
surrendering
going
party
to-
will hand over to who they are surrendering to, because the attacker might surrender quickly.
Well, no.
So I think that this
If
is
the-
actually
if the
something that's
attacker
worth bringing up in
surrenders-
terms of.
Just something that will be done on a case-by-case basis, determined by the attacker.
I
then
don't.
the UN probably won't make them do any concession.
Right, but I don't think we should. I don't think we should enshrine in this that it's like only the attackers and only the defenders are gonna surrender.
Ah, okay, that was.
We
This
should
was
specify that either side can surrender.
I'm sorry. Is that how I have it worded in the abridged document?
Oh, that's just how you said it.
Okay, that is my bad. Also,
So I don't know if it's in the abridged version, but you should check. Maybe not.
I
now,
also
but-
think that what's being fought for should be outlined in whatever declaration of war there is, and that would make figuring out what has to be given up for whoever wins a lot easier, because that way it's just described right there. right at the start.
Sorry,
That's
I
like
had
the
to.
sort of baseline. Yeah, because imagine fighting a war for a certain territory, and then you win, and then the UN goes, "Nah, you're not allowed that."
Yeah.
That will be fair.
So that's just
Um,
going to be put in the declaration
Mhm.
of war, like as it's happening. Like when the declaration has happened, it's very clear. I'm fighting for this.
Well,
I,
that's the whole point of a territory war. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
that's the
For
purpose.
culture war, real quick, I would like to bring up that I think they should have like a limited war score, so that you can only take a certain amount of territory.
True.
Because otherwise, people are just gonna declare culture wars and then be like, ah, yoink, all mine.
That's a very good point. What percentage should that be?
I think lower than 50, much lower than like probably
Third?
yeah, third.
Okay. I will write that in here.
Caligula, you sounded like you had something.
No, it was just agreeing,
Oh, okay.
just concurring.
Okay.
It needs to be substantial where it causes it needs to be substantial, but not the point where people leave the server over it. So I think that's as good as a compromise we're gonna get.
For surrendering, let's say one side surrenders, but the attacker does not agree to the surrender. What do we do then?
Punish the attackers.
Punish the
'cause, you know, it's a
attackers
war
if they
crime.
surrender. If
Yeah,
they surrender,
they're-
they surrender. If the attackers literally, like the attackers have complete control in that situation. So if the attackers do something, they are.
Mhm.
It's like they
War
already won,
criminals.
so like
Well,
they're
unless
pretty
there's
just
much.
a counterattack.
If they're surrendering, there's not a counterattack.
Or let's say
Oh no, like what I'm saying is like, let's say there's a culture war. Someone faction A declares a culture war on faction B. Faction A tries to attack faction B, and they kind of fail at that. So then faction B retaliates and takes some of faction A's stuff. So although a culture war is more of a back and forth thing, in a territory war, that makes sense. That
I'm
only
confused. I'm
defend that- that-
confused. I'm confused. How does this relate to surrendering?
Well, what I'm saying is that, like, in a culture war, either faction involved should have consequences of surrender, because
Okay.
again, whoever was initially, the faction who initially
Okay,
declared the culture war
so
has
wait.
the tides turned on them.
Right. So that would be determined in the treaty.
Yes.
That's what?
okay, I think we've already agreed on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was
Yeah.
against
I
that.
think I might have
I think-
interpreted something here then.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. We have this agreed upon.
Yeah. All right. Are we
We
ready
have
to
10
move on
minutes
to
less.
battles? Yeah, let's get through this.
Okay.
I think
real.
I think we've
I'm
already
writing
discussed
in,
battles.
writing
Though.
in D4
What's up,
war
DJ?
cycles.
Yeah, actually, we literally discussed battles very in depth. That was probably like
Yeah.
an hour-long
Okay,
discussion.
well, with surrendering, let's say total war is declared, or rather, at the very beginning of a war, someone just immediately surrenders. Do we just concede the attackers what they want?
That'll be up
Yeah,
to the
pretty
UN
much.
to determine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the UN
pretty
will,
much.
the UN will force the defenders to do so.
Then I think.
Well,
The point
The
of
UN will
is
determine
can't
what to
abuse
do in
that.
that situation.
Yep, and that's the whole
You,
purpose.
but
that
from
you
this,
can't
from that
abuse-
specific like hypothetical you presented, it's probably fair to say that the UN would enforce that they give what
I don't
it
know.
was what was declared.
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Well,
As your
we'll
fellow
get to it
UN
later.
representative, I don't think
Well-
it would be that simple for you guys.
We'll get to it later because that's for another day.
But that's
Honestly,
that's literally for when we are in a treaty. That is
I
like
think we've
stuff to
discussed-
discuss
I think we've hit all the
in
baselines.
treaty. Yeah, I think this is fine where we're at. I think this is good to ratify. And then we can come back next
Hang on a sec.
one
I gotta
next
sit through-
fucking
I gotta sit.
Uh,
I gotta
uh,
sit through the
and
bill stuff.
discuss colonial wars
For
and
Article
shit.
3, Part 7, it still has that flag stuff. Can we get rid of the flag stuff?
I
Well,
will.
I don't think
yeah,
we should make an
I-
announcement about this until Person is done making all the changes.
Yeah.
I-
Yes.
editing the
I feel like the
main
flag thing would be okay for like a main
Okay.
base, but like for every fort that exists, like,
Yeah, no.
I feel like for bases we should just have when the beds are destroyed.
Well, then someone could just rush the beds.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
No, well,
No,
not
it's-
just when the beds are
it's not-
destroyed, but like, huh?
Well,
that's why I think the flag would
oh,
be
God.
another thing. Because take the flag, destroy
but-
the beds. You know, like give it like multiple steps, so it can't just be rushed
Yeah,
I
one.
I think multiple steps is good. I think we
One
can
thing-
discuss.
Sorry.
I think
You either annihilate.
In the abridged articles, I kind of in the original war and battles article sections. I'm gonna apply that to the abridged as well, just to keep things consistent. So discussing
Okay.
that.
For bases, it should be the defenders are annihilated or they surrender, beds are destroyed, and their flag is replaced with the attackers. How's that
Alright.
sound?
I think that sounds
I'm-
fine.
Once a total
There's-
war is happening, it is likely defending action will surrender. And at that point, they'll probably
Yeah.
be made puppets. Because like it's.
I
because,
think the
like,
faction would be pretty dumb not to surrender at the point where their base can be
Like-
attacked.
basically
Yeah, pretty much.
meeting this to concede whatever would have been whatever they think would have been battle if a surrender had not occurred. At that point, if a total war is happening, a faction another, they're almost to their base. Defenders surrender, there'll probably some sort of like the defender will give up like a portion.
Also,
That's something we don't have to worry about.
let's
for
be
quick.
honest, as the UN, I think it is our duty to prevent a total war at all costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Because
a
we're the
battle-
United Nations for a reason.
unless it's
what do I
funny.
have?
Unless I will lamo. Unless I will roll on the floor laughing.
What about a world war where everyone's no?
I have the 15 minutes. The 15-minute declaration is in here. I have to all this shit regarding.
Let's vote on it now. We'll make an announcement.
Also,
about
wait.
it, and then we'll-
There's
Go ahead.
something very important.
There is
Did we
one.
ever figure out the specific numbers behind what we're going to do regarding reinforcement?
Twice is what I suggested.
So 2 at times in addition
Yeah.
to the initial attack.
I think that would be fine. Gives
I
you,
think
like,
for
three-
bases, it should be until you can't get anyone else there in time.
Well, but the timeline's like an hour.
Because well, it's because for bases, it's the final thing. Once you do it, they're done.
Oh, for bases?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
so
no.
Yeah,
That's a
I
It should be.
whole
It should be. It's my personal opinion that it should be until they cannot feasibly get anyone there by any method.
Well,
No, I feel
Or
like
they
that
can't
plays
get any.
That's
They can't get anyone there who can actually pose a threat. Like if you're just throwing a bunch of people who are respawning nearby
and
in with
for that
nothing.
we could
it's
also employ. For that we could also employ the sort of you hold this place for a certain amount of time.
Fair point.
Like if it comes to a place where it's like. If it comes to a point where a base is contested, as long as they occupy that base for say an hour, that's all it takes.
Hmm.
Bases are not
Even an hour might be too much. But
Go ahead, person.
Anyways,
we really don't need to be talking about bases right now.
TJ, please. Go ahead, person.
Okay, so
specifics for battle. Right. The initial attack has to follow up 30 minutes after the. What is the
What?
allowed?
You cut out.
Oh, okay. So, right, 15 minutes before the attacker is allowed to begin their attack. If the attackers do not arrive within 30 minutes following the declaration, then the attack is considered void. What is the period of time that will be allowed between? What is the amount of time a faction will be given to reinforce?
I thought we agreed on a few minutes, so maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think 5 minutes.
If they can transport that fast, then sure. Also, what about defending reinforcement, like a counterattack? Is that the same thing?
I think if
Counterattack.
if you're defending a base, Or rather, if you're counterattacking, it should be the same thing.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I think that's fine. And
Yeah,
a
we got
counterattack,
only
a
a couple minutes
counterattack,
left.
a counterattack can start immediately after an attack. I think that should be a rule. Because
I mean, that's kind of the idea of a
yeah,
counterattack.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
a counterattack isn't much of a counterattack if you
So, well,
wait 15 minutes.
So the 5-minute reinforcement rule will also apply for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think
I have to write. This is quite a bit to write in. The one more thing that I will have to entirely rewrite that section. One more thing is for specific war. We've banned the Thumbcraft Flux, like pollution. Banned the Flux spell, which is armor. Are there any other items or tactics?
I don't think we currently have anything else.
I think
that we
that's something
wanted
that
to
we should
ban.
deal with later as it comes along.
Fair
Next,
enough.
So there's one item in particular that I'm a little bit questionable about. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember there's an item that just gives you creative mode flight.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of items that
There's
there's
a
a
number
lot of
that
items
give
that do that.
creative mode
That's
flight. I think we should discuss creative mode flight honestly at the next.
yeah. That
UN
is
meeting.
something that should be discussed some other time. But it should be.
Just because I don't have any more energy for
I don't have the
Minecraft
patience for another.
politics.
We still have the grace
And we
period.
still have the grace period. We
One more thing regarding battles, and that this is a pretty major. This is a not pretty major, fairly major, overlooked. What will our policy be about underground portions of forts? Because
They don't.
They're part of the
They
fort.
don't structure. I mean, they can exist, but they don't structurally contribute to like the actual like fort. I'd say in terms of like size.
yeah.
But what if,
They
like-
shouldn't affect territory. But I
Well,
think
what if,
I
like,
think they're fine.
in terms of a battle, like what if like if there's like a fort, right? There's an elaborate tunnel system. If
Yeah.
the defender hide in the labyrinth of tunnels they have below their base, how do you count the occupancy?
Well, they can use that for a counterattack, and the attackers will have to flush them out.
Okay, is there anything left on the current thing that we need to discuss before we all go?
So I'll just be incorporated as part of counterattack. That's fine. I just gotta write all this in now.
Yeah, I'm fine with tunnels. Tunnels, it's like
And again, we can discuss that if there is. No, I can just be part of it.
Okay, I'm putting it in UN meeting. Okay.
So let's just establish that tunnels are not a part of the structure.
Yeah.
In terms of occupancy. All right, sounds good.
but they're fine.
I put the thing
Not
in
part of
meeting.
the occupancy, but they are.
We'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later.
I have to piss so fucking bad.
We've been here for 3 hours, literally.
Yes.
2 hours. 2 hours.
Let me double check. I can check stream.
We've been
almost
in a
three.
UN
Almost
meeting
three.
for 3 hours. We've been discussing explicitly the.
Vote, please.
TJ, you're the final one.
Vote. Sorry, I didn't realize we were doing vote.
No,
Ah,
no,
e-
it's not gonna pass. No. Oh, it passed. We're done.
Okay. Fine.
Let's fucking go.
I'm
I'm
going.
gonna cry.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank God.
I would like to get back to my base just because I was teleported to wherever the train was. Is anyone capable of doing that, or do I just need to go there myself?
Did Cleo leave already? He did. Okay. Give me your. Do you know what the coordinates are?
And long list.
Yeah, I can give you the coordinates.
All right.
You have my gratitude that everyone was able to sit here and listen to all this and actually.
Yeah, I was.
attend the meeting.
This was basically jury duty for me.
All right, TJ. What are your coords?
All right. Can you send me to? Wait, where is the heck? Okay. So 32, 33, 38, negative 24, 33.
So 32, 38, and then what was the last number?
24, 33, and the YA coordinate. I guess that's just 66.
Oh, I see. So it's 32, 38, 24, 43, and then the Y coordinate is. I'll teleport you to 63. If you are trapped yell.
Okay. I think it put me into the ocean. Yeah, it put me into the
Oh, that's
ocean.
fine.
I think.
All right. Do you know where you
Wait,
are?
are we
Oh wait, no.
actually
Oh,
doing
sorry.
a
It's
meeting
negative.
tomorrow?
It's negative. It's
Okay.
negative 2433.
All right. Remember to scream.
We should make the next
Okay, I'm-
meeting about
I'm
this,
on the
like,
surface.
Friday or
All right,
something.
epic.
Friday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Someone-
Let's make it Friday. Might as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. Everyone have a nice night. Goodbye.
Yes.
You too.
Good night. Good.
Fair
Thank
do
God
that.
that we did this, though.
It's
Yeah,
finally
you
done.
guys-
Gather stone for God's sake.
All right. I'm done for the night. I am so done for the night.
I don't
Right.
blame you.
Oh yeah, Golden Brawler and TJ. This extends to you. So here I'll explain to TJ real quick. I don't know if you knew this, but like a week and a half ago, Sealand committed a very aggressive crime. And made clear to the UN that they were an aggressive state with aggressive stances on the world. So,
Oh.
we a number of us, currently it's me, Finland, Jersey, and League, and hopefully Golden Brawler here, and the Turks, have a defensive pact. So if any one of us gets attacked, everybody else comes in as a precaution against Sealand.
Okay.
If you would like to join, the cult is perfectly welcome.
All right.
Keep it a little bit under wraps,
Sounds good.
All right. So, feel free to discuss that with your team. Come back to me with a yes or a no.
And we'll find out.
What have the Turks said?
It's a mix because it's like it sounds like it would be a good idea, but when Nathan and I discovered Sealand flying around with creative mode flight with some pretty overpowered gear, a lot of the Turks felt a little intimidated, and we're not sure if we would be able to even provide backup. So
I mean, that's the thing, is that individually, none of us are able to provide backup. All of us are really small, tiny-ass nations compared to them. And that's kind of why we need this defensive pact.
Yeah.
So, because this defensive pact is so important to me, I will guarantee for you that I will vote to ban Creative Flight on Friday at our next UN meeting.
Okay.
And also, I will extend to you the option where if, Creative Flight is not banned, you can just drop out of the defensive pact. And Neo Olympus will not hold that against you because we understand.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's completely reasonable. I don't know what else there is I'd have to object to. I feel like there's
Alright.
probably something else, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Okay, real quick, does anyone what can be done about I can probably ask my own group this, but just off the top of your guys' head, do you guys know how what can be done about just like banners that are left just like name tag like things, but they just
Oh,
kind of
you mean
exist
the
there?
trans rights shit everywhere?
I'm pretty sure that was literally just Sylvette, and
I kind of figured it was Sylvette.
and-
Yeah.
Because she's the only one who knows where everybody is, and she seems to have found
Pretty much.
everybody. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, she's been
know.
just kind of. This is also why I don't want Sylvette to be the representative of my group, because she's kind of a loose cannon, and of anyone else in my group, I feel like I have the least control of her.
Yeah, I have no idea how to get rid of those. I think they're supposed to just go away on their own, but I know for
They
a fact
don't.
that not all of them do. There's a bunch around my base that haven't, but the vast majority of the ones that were around my base have
Same with the
disappeared.
Turks.
So I'll bring that up in mod chat probably, just because they should be disappearing, I feel like.
Yeah, I won't lie.
I was very worried to ask about this during the meeting, but I heard talk about griefing. I'm like, oh no, Sylvette, please don't tell me that you were a part of this and that this is gonna be one of the things that like you did wrong. Because like I know for a fact that Sylvette did that at the Turk space, and I'm just like, the fuck. Please don't tell me this is gonna be marked as griefing, and that we're gonna be like immediately war criminals as soon as we
Yeah.
enter it.
Entering the UN entering the UN just to be accused of being a war criminal.
I mean,
No,
I guess that's not a war criminal. Rather, it's just I
yeah,
guess that's
just
more of
griefing.
that's
Just
just
normal
the
crime.
worst what would probably happen is that Sylvette would get banned, and that's all that would happen. And if
Yeah,
if
I mean-
anything, I think the rest of us are kind of absolved. She's kind of a loose cannon. I
Definitely.
don't know. I don't
mean-
know what to expect from her.
It's such a harmless thing, right? So like, she's not gonna get banned.
It's harmless. It's harmless, but it's still very
It is
disruptive visually.
It is like for my base, right? I really enjoy the aesthetics of it. I think I've done a very good job on it. Right. So seeing the trans rights shit all over it, it's like bruh.
Yeah, no, I completely get that.
It's just like
I
no.
Like,
There's words everywhere.
we just TJ, you already know, and Fridge, I think I brought it up. We just relocated, and immediately I just see those all over the place, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, we're found, and we've went. Why?
You guys gotta show me your new.
I'm
base
gonna-
at some point, because I know where your old one is. I think.
Yeah,
got, like,
for
a
the
dog.
longest time I was like, oh hey, we're keeping bases secret, but no, if it's fucking like everybody's got to know about it anyway, it's like, ah shit. It was
I
kind
mean,
of-
I feel like that's better for the server itself, because it's like this whole server is meant to be about just like stupid geopolitics in Minecraft.